All right, we are fucking back with another episode of Lost in the Dark podcast, everybody, and holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. We got some fucking guests today. I guess just go ahead and introduce yourselves. Aaron's here. Hi, Aaron.
I'm still here. Yeah.
Aaron's always here. And then, just introduce yourselves real quick.
I'm Dustin. I'm the guitarist of Recorruptor.
What's going on? I'm Clint. Vocals for Recorruptor.
Boom shakalaka.
Boom.
Holy shit. So this is fantastic. Thank you guys so fucking much for coming out to this.
Thanks for having us, man.
Oh my god. Anytime. So for fucking anybody who is living under a rock and doesn't know Recorruptor, quick little bio. Like, when did you guys get started? When did you get started?
I was probably like 13, 14 when I started playing with people, and then probably
He loves playing with people.
Yeah, love playing with people. But I just started jamming with some dudes. I think Jimmy, Nick, and then Drew. Those are the dudes that were in the band at first. We had a band called Rotting Inside. That was like late when I was 14, and by like 15, we were like playing a shit ton of shows and doing a whole bunch of gigs. We were playing at like Uwee's and like Max, a shit ton. And then eventually just some shit happened. People, just like it started slowing down. People ended up, long story short, we just lost members. And then eventually Clint came in the picture. And then, I started playing guitar when I was a lot younger because of Seth and Clint. And so it was like really cool to be like, you guys want to play in my band? Cause,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Averain or whatever.
Condition Critical at first, and then we had some name issues. Changed it to Averain, and then that didn't work out. But I don't know. It wasn't even like a month of time off for me, because back at that time, I was doing booking. I was booking shows quite frequently.
For who?
Myself. Like I would just like kind of commission venues, mostly Uwee's House of Rock.
Holy
at
shit.
the time, yeah.
He had his own like agency, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like your own booking.
Yeah, I was just booking shows a shit ton.
Hell fucking yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely stressful worrying about money.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd say for the most part, I did good for myself. Anyway, my first show that I booked, or one of the first shows that I booked a band that is now defunct called Ovid's Withering.
Okay.
And they were from Florida, I believe. I think super good band that unfortunately ended up, going extinct for some unfortunate reasons, and people can look that up themselves. It should be pretty public. But super, super good band. Had them come up for Florida for like $150. I was
Holy
like,
shit.
jeez, this is like, I gotta get on this. And I had, actually, the opening band was
Medicine Head?
Nope, it was, the former dudes from Bog Wraith, Alex, Julian, and Mike.
Okay.
Played in Betray the Prophet, and that's how I met them.
Oh, yeah,
I've
that was
known
a
Aaron
thing.
for a while through, well, at the time it was Medica.
Right. Yep.
But
Yeah, that's how I know him too. Is through I had a class at LCC with Sisto, former vocalist, and him and I started hanging out. And one day he was like, would you be cool with kind of like roadieing for my band?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then a couple shows later, they switched drummers to Aaron, and that's how Aaron and I met. Yeah,
little child prodigy right there. I remember seeing him play, and I was like, Jesus Christ, can anybody actually do that?
right.
Sampled.
I'm glad that you brought up Uwee's, because I mentioned that last time you were giving shit for it.
Yeah.
You thought that like nobody would remember it or whatever.
Yeah, no,
I
I listened to it and I was like, that's me. I remember that.
Hell fucking yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, my first show was actually you guys with Condition Critical.
Yes, it was the album release technically.
Yeah.
But did you play on that record?
No,
or
I wasn't. I was after that. So I joined, they put it all out, and then I played the release show and stuff. So
right, did it better than the record.
Almost like Medica. That's almost what happened. You didn't play Did you play the release show?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it
I
was
thought
the
you were
first
talking about
one.
the other band. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you were talking about the other band.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was, yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I remember that one. Anyway, that same show, yeah, that was the first time I booked Portray the Prophet, which was Alex, Julian, and Mike from Bog Wraith. It was the first time I ever met those guys. And I had these guys booked, Recorruptor.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't in the band yet, but something was going on with the vocalist at the time. And essentially it came down to, hey, Clint, do you want to fill in for this? Yeah, fill in for the vocals. And I was actually supposed to play vocals and play bass.
Hell yeah. All right.
But I am not good enough to do that.
Some
So
lemmy
it
shit
didn't
right
work
there.
out. It didn't work out. I can play the both separate. But
So around what year is this?
2014, April of
Oh, shit.
2014.
Hell yeah. And so where does the name Recorruptor come from anywhere? Like specific or?
Well, originally Rotting Inside was I got Crohn's disease.
Oh,
when
shit.
I was like 13 or 14.
Okay.
So the idea behind that was because I had like ulcers in my stomach.
Yeah.
So I was like rotting from the inside.
Yeah, that
was
makes
just
sense.
like the thought of it. And then there was already a band called Rotting Inside, I think, from Mexico. I could be totally wrong. It's been a long time. I don't really remember. But another band, we basically had to do the same thing that Condition Critical did. And so, yeah, we were just thinking of names, and no one could think of anything cool. And then eventually I thought of that. I don't think anything specifically popped up. When I looked it up, the only thing I could find of it is the Recorruptor of Whitechapel.
Oh, the Recorrupted EP.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what Section 8 originally came out on. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Hell yeah. So it's just kind of like something that popped in your head.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember anything at the moment. Or
How
anything
fucking
specifically,
I
but
mean,
yeah, that was basically it. Just thinking of it.
Those are usually the best. Like the name for this podcast. My cousin and I started it, and we were going back and forth for a long time on what to name it. And him and I, way like 2005, 6, 7. Him and I had a little band out in Flint called Vaccination. And one of the songs we wrote for that band was called Lost in the Dark.
Nice.
So one day I was just sitting there like, oh, that's what we should fucking call it.
I dig it.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome. So so fucking we got you guys, I just saw you guys.
Yep.
At SummerSlamathon.
SummerSlamathon.
I listened to that podcast.
Not
Did you?
SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think that was my
listened to it
first
too.
podcast with you guys.
Hell
if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Nice. No, that was a fucking unbelievable show. Like that was really fantastic. I personally had been waiting because I follow you guys on Instagram and everything. So I love that you guys fucking have post videos and stuff like that while you're in the studio.
Yeah.
Like you're bringing everybody along for the recording ride.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Children of Bodom does that when they were recording. I love it when bands do that. So I was fucking ecstatic when you were like, yeah, we're going to play some new songs. I was like, oh, are you fucking serious?
I think we definitely, as far as that aspect goes, didn't do as much video or studio video as we did for Blood Moon. I think we were all really, we were all really pumped to be doing the first thing that time around. It's not like we weren't pumped to do this one. Obviously, I think we were just a lot more focused on what was going on. Also,
A lot of new music.
Short
amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we didn't have like restrictions like that, but I think we just were really.
It was time.
I
feel like everyone kind of knows that.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people were wondering about it.
We were also drinking a lot. So
hey,
so we were early on.
Sometimes
the
that's
like
how
that.
good albums get written.
Right. Well, we recorded with the Mike Stelma, who does Broken Monolith Studios and is guitar player for Vestigial, Grand Rapids natives.
Nice.
And those guys are absolutely fantastic, and they're putting out a record on November 2nd, which we're actually doing the CD release for up at the Pyramid Scheme in Grand Rapids.
Oh shit! Have you announced that yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have. Absolutely fantastic record.
Thank you, Aaron.
Like.
He's going to grab me a beer.
I
was going to yell to squaw and beer me, but you were in the middle of something, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Right. Snap 3 times, and that means a beer.
You hear that, TJ?
Snap 3 times. That's a beer.
It's a beer.
I will fetch the beers if the beers are needed.
Anyway, yeah, we got a lot of sneak peek on that new Vestigial record. Their first one, Fallen Skies, it's great, obviously, but this one it's such another level. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, because they were going for a pretty avid metalcore route on the first one, and you can tell there's a lot of influence from Trivium and Silosis in there, mixed with some, mixed with some more obvious influence. But this one, I don't know what happened, but they really brought out the riffs. It hits hard.
Hell yeah.
It's very good.
I don't remember what one they put the video out for, but it has some like Nile vibes to it almost.
The newest one?
Yeah. I don't know which video it was for.
Yeah, they did Dethroned.
Maybe that was it. I don't know, just in the riffing and stuff, it just reminded me of like some like Nile kind of.
Yeah, they've definitely got that mid-era like Annihilation of the Wicked era Nile a little bit.
Yeah.
I know they definitely really like Discarnate right now.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Absolutely, and they're getting on that and Vitriol. So now on top of the Silosis and Trivium, they're adding more rhythmic death metal styles to it, and it provides for something really cool. I'm really excited for that one to come out, and I'm on a song on it too.
Oh,
so.
hell yeah! Hell yeah! That's
That'll
sweet.
Be cool.
Hell yeah! That's awesome.
Very grim.
I fucking love it when metal vocalists work together. I just did a review for the new Carnifex album.
Yes.
And in the process of doing that, I was watching. There's a handful. There's like 5 or 6, probably collectively 20 minutes long, all together if you watch them all. On YouTube of the lead singer Scotty and Lewis on Nuclear Blast's YouTube page, where he talks about making the album and stuff like that, little behind the scenes, and it blew my mind because he said something that I've been saying on this fucking podcast forever, and it's that you see it in pop, you see it in hip hop artists working together all the fucking time. You don't see it that much in metal. And it bums me out, and it makes me so excited every time metal vocalists work together, especially when they do, like, back and forth. Like Enslaved, Dead or Depraved off the Jasta solo album with Randy Bly. And or off that new country covers album that Devil Driver did, Outlaws Till the End. He had Dez and Randy on fucking Ghost Riders. Oh, when they go back and forth, I love that shit. And Elisa White Gloves and Scotty and Lewis do it a little bit on that new Carnifex song too.
Yep.
I love it when fucking So that you being on, who was it? Who's on whose album? Aren't you both on each other's albums?
Yep.
Yeah,
Alex is on Blood Moon for the Sleep Eater song.
Yeah.
And then I'm on Omen with Torment.
Yes. Oh God, I love
they
those.
They still haven't played, and I fucking hate them for that.
Oh, don't even get me.
I'm sorry.
Don't even get me started on things they haven't played.
Yeah, dude, Torment.
I'm still waiting for Monstrous.
I get it every time I'm over here. Like, hey, we play that song.
Yeah. And it's even fucked up because in your previous fucking band, Medica, they had one song called "The Strangers."
Yep,
and
I know that one.
Oh,
I remember it.
Song?
I remember it. Yeah.
Oh, it was one of my favorite songs, and
Absolutely.
I was like, "You guys have got to put that, like, just record it once, just for me." And they promised me they would do it, and they never did.
Never did it. Yeah.
I love.
They don't want to break your heart.
Was never up to me, so I'm sorry.
I know, it wasn't up to you, but the way Sisto sang that, his voice sounded like Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas a little bit. Like I fucking loved that track.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The guest vocal thing is cool. It's really prevalent in deathcore.
I know
that, especially like,
yep.
For example, like Shadow of Intense, Reclaimer album. It's almost every single song has a guest vocalist from somebody. And I mean, when you're that good, you can pull like that.
Yeah.
You're getting Dickie Allen, you're getting Alex Terrible, you're getting all these people. And I don't know, I think, that genre is definitely more open to collaborating. But yeah, with death metal, it's not as prevalent. And I think that I don't really know why that is.
It's weird to me.
I know whenever I think about, because I thought for the new album, you know, if I would have a guest vocalist or anything, and we didn't do any guest spots at all on it.
Me.
But yeah, Dustin actually does some vocals on it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that surprised the hell out of me. He
Nice.
comes up there and just grunts it out, man. It's sick.
Hell
I love
yeah.
it. But yeah, no, it's just, I think part of it, and I think a lot of people think like me when it comes to that, is will it really fit the song and does it necessarily need a guest spot?
Fair enough.
I felt like Sleep Eater definitely needed to have, you know, Alex's snarl on it.
All right.
I
hell
thought
yeah.
that was really important for that break there, to have him come in and just, you know, fuck it up like that.
Yeah.
It definitely works. But yeah, I don't know. For our new album, I just didn't really see it happening like that.
And you guys took more time with this one.
A lot more time.
Yeah.
Well, in some aspects,
Or
I
are
don't know.
taking more
We were,
time, I should say.
we were. It was like 3 years in the making for Blood Moon, technically. So
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that was also the midst of like me, you know, trying to get better and
Yeah.
get better and
Yeah.
get
which
like,
it worked out,
yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
I'm-
Yeah.
I mean, losing band members in the process, and I mean, it obviously worked out. We stayed consistent with the same lineup, and it's
Oh yeah. No, this is my dream lineup.
yeah.
really.
Yeah, lineup right now is fantastic. Absolutely. And so yeah, I watched that interview you guys just did at Max. That was awesome.
Yep.
Especially filming it at Max. That's such a cool idea. I loved that. And on there, you talked a little bit about your influences and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, you had said you're more into the technical,
Yeah.
which is something which is actually a genre kind of that I just recently got into. He just recently really got me into the technical stuff, especially I fucking adore
I'm trying.
Revocation.
No.
Revocation is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Revocation's the shit.
Oh.
Revocation brings a like super groovy and jazz style influence
Yeah.
to technical death metal, and that's
And even the thrash
Yes.
that's there too.
so
Yeah.
awesome.
They are fantastic. And then you said Lamb of God, a big influence for your vocals.
Very early on. I don't know how much that it's there now, but yeah, I
And-
think
I mean, in
Back
terms
in
of
the day,
yeah.
oh, that's what everyone said for sure. Everyone would come up to me and be like, "Randy Brythe."
fucking Lamb of God is absolutely one of my all-time favorites. I
100%.
fucking adore them. And I was actually listening. I was fucking listening to a little bit of Blood Moon yesterday, and there were parts on that album where I was like, right here, Clint sounds like Randy Bly off like Ruin.
Yeah.
Like old Lamb of God.
Yeah.
Like not the remaster.
Yeah,
Ruin
right.
either. Like the original. Like
Yeah.
that brutality was fucking
that really disgusting
It's
filth
awesome.
That
love that.
You know
Love
that Devin Townsend produced that record?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why it was so shitty.
Yeah.
That's why they all hated it.
I don't know what happened with that one.
But I
But
mean, they released a documentary about it. You know what I mean? Like the making of or whatever.
Yeah.
You can watch it. It's they just really didn't like it
yeah.
how it turned out.
Which is weird because it's my all-time favorite Lamb of God record.
I mean, it's fucking incredible.
It's
And
just it just goes to show you that production's really not as important when it comes to absolutely top-tier songwriting.
absolutely.
You know.
That's a very good point, actually.
But just think about what it would have been if it had the production that like Ashes of the Wake or
Yeah.
Sacrament had.
Yeah.
You know.
Even though the re-release of it was sick.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
re-release
Like the remaster. of it.
really sounded a lot different. It was crazy how much different it sounded.
100%.
Mostly just the drums on it, I think. That's just
Yeah.
something I always pick up on for some reason.
Yeah. Which is a whole nother thing. That's a little surprising that Chris Adler's out of the band now.
Oh, I know.
Still don't know how to feel about it.
Some recent
I
news.
didn't know that until recently, until Clint was like, "Yeah, it's out."
Yeah, I mean, it just
No.
happened like a week or two ago. It's
Oh,
very
okay. I thought it was more.
No.
More
Yeah,
I mean,
prevalent than that.
and I don't. I kind of wish we could know more about what's going on there because Adler's still playing.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna play his first show actually here in a couple months. I think in Russia or some
Really?
shit. There's some fucking big like. He's playing with a whole bunch of other really big drummers at some event. But yeah, that's. I mean, Art Cruz kills it. I love Winds of Plague.
yeah.
He's from Winds of Plague, and I love Winds of Plague. And live, I've seen him with Lamb of God 2 or 3 times now, and fucking, he does a really good job. on those songs. So it'll be interesting. I just don't know how much the original drummer contributed to the songwriting. That's the only thing I don't know.
You're talking about Chris Adler.
Chris Adler, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know how much he contributed to the songwriting, but I do know that dude is one of the most influential drummers
absolutely
in widespread metal in a long time. I think a lot of people definitely mimic what he does and never really quite get up to that point. You know what I mean? Because he's got such a flavor. Like, it's very tasty flavor what he does. And I think whether he really contributes to the songwriting or not, I think that's...
He still adds.
Yeah. It's really important.
That's what I think for sure. So this is what I'm wondering. Do you guys think they're going to try to find someone who plays like him?
No, they've already got the guy.
Yeah, it's Art Cruz, the guy they've been touring with.
Lindsay played.
Yeah. Which confuses me.
That's very weird because
he's good. I never thought for a second it would be somebody like him.
No.
Yeah, no, he's not the dude to lay down the groovy. No. I would like to see him play Chris Adler songs and do it Chris Adler.
Well, apparently he's been touring with the band for a couple years now.
Ever since that, because the only reason that any of this started is because Adler got into a really bad motorcycle accident. Yeah. And he hurt himself really bad, and he couldn't play. So, and they were like about to go on a big tour, so they had to get somebody. So Art Cruz was available, and yeah, he's been touring with them. I think the first time I saw them was with you at the 20 Monroe like 3 years ago.
The Behemoth.
Yeah, something like that.
Chris Adler didn't play that show?
No, I don't think he did.
I was there.
I don't think he played that show. Were you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good venue.
It was with Hold the Blood opened up.
Yeah. Holy shit.
You sure Chris Adler didn't play that?
I'm pretty sure I remember...
Brains melting over
I'm pretty sure I remember that being the first show I saw them without Chris Adler. I'm pretty sure. Because that would mean, if that's not the case, that means they've only been touring without Chris Adler on the Slayer tour. And I'm pretty sure they didn't have him before the Slayer tour. I'm pretty sure he got hurt before that.
Seems like we argued about this last time.
I don't know. We'll fact check it.
I don't remember.
And if you're wrong, your podcast is canceled.
I'll fact check it right now. But I will fact check that real quick. I do want, before I forget.
Yeah.
Crazy fact. Jamie Josta, lead singer of Hatebreed, is actually, he got his start in the music scene through booking bands. That's interesting. Upstate New York area. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's how he got his start too. When you said that, I was like, oh, like Jamie.
Right.
That's crazy.
So am I the new Jamie Jasta?
Oh, let's hope
that
so.
Fucking sucks.
He's got you should listen to his podcast. He's got a great podcast.
Yeah.
The Jasta Show.
He seems like an all right dude.
Oh, dude, there was when him and I went to the Slayer show at DT back in May, and Jasta was there. He was side stage watching the show and then he did a podcast with Corpse Grinder, with Randy, with Mark Morton.
Oh yeah.
And John Haig from Amon Amarth. He didn't do one. Gotcha. He couldn't get one with Slayer. Anyone from Slayer, but yeah, he got one. He got a podcast with like every fucking band that toured, and he was at the Detroit show. I was like, oh fucking way. But yeah, while I fact check that Chris Adler thing, so you guys then you've booked shows. You've been playing since you were 13, all in the Lansing area. That is that where you guys are both from originally?
We're technically both from the Maple Valley area,
Nashville,
which is Nashville, Michigan.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's about 30 to 40 minutes southwest of Lansing.
Okay. So that's where you're originally from.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in the Lansing area? Both of you.
Here's the thing. So, like, there's obviously not a scene in Nashville. So we play Lansing, yeah. That's what. But when Condition Critical started, they were basically playing. Yeah. There was one spot in Nashville that they would play, but it was just like. It wasn't like there's
a bar at a golf course that all the dads and MILFs would come out
but
to.
They would play Battle Creek and Planet Rock, or what's now the Music Factory, a lot.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, I don't know if that was necessarily your hometown place.
I mean, that's what we always said. We always said we were a Battle Creek band because we always played Planet Rock. Lansing didn't really give us the chance back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
really.
But yeah, when I started playing, it was all Lansing, basically.
Okay.
Let's say because we I think out of the 5 of us, I'm the only one that's not from Lansing. So
Right.
I just kind of said that's where you're
Yeah.
from because that's where everybody knows us from. And stuff,
Yeah,
so.
but I mean, Recorruptor didn't necessarily start out playing. I mean, we did play probably our first 5 shows in Lansing, but after that, Clint was he was booking shows in the agency, and he's my buddy, so he's just like, hop on this show out here, hop on this show out here. So that was why we were able to,
spread out a
first
little
couple
bit,
years, we were just playing everywhere in Michigan, just all the good ones, all the, big name places.
Yep.
There any ones that have like come up that like have just kind of been like surprised that you actually got on it and stuff, or like what was the first one that was like memorable? I guess.
I think I don't know. There've been memorable shows for many
been
reasons.
A lot, and but the first one where it kind of I had like an epiphany at was probably Cannibal Corpse. That was where I was like, oh shit. This is some good shit right here.
When you guys opened for Cannibal last year?
Oh yeah, that was pretty sick, man.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up because I got to tell you something. And this is something. First of all, you guys should be proud of this. It was a fucking fuck. What was that band name? What was the band? Magnolia.
Yeah.
When you were playing with Magnolia, I at one of his
I forgot
shows.
that was a thing, dude. You've played in a lot of bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was
2 or
with
3.
Magnolia, they were playing a show at the Loft. And I was coming, and I had a couple people with me, and they fucking made me late. And so I was like running into the venue as they were playing. And I like run in. I get to like the side of the stage, like right up front, like on the edge of the pit. And I like just look to my left for some reason, and some fucking dickweed that's like spinning his arms, hardcore dancing,
Cool stepping,
fucking decks me, breaks my nose.
Oh no!
Swear to God. So I've got
dude.
the only injury I've ever gotten in a show was at a fucking Magnolia show, broke a nose in a pit, and then at Recorruptor opening for fucking Cannibal. Pretty sure you guys might have done a little damage to my eardrum.
Yeah, that's
Not
what you
even
were
gonna
saying.
my ears started going crazy after your set on that one, and I was like, that is something that they should be fucking proud of because I've been to a lot of shows, and that was one of the loudest.
Well,
it was incredible. It was
maybe
incredible.
not be us. That might be everyone.
And well, you guys were the first ones on that night.
We want to be so good that you don't get to listen to music ever again.
Exactly. That show though, that was a really great show. And one of the things that I remember thinking while I was there was, oh, they're finally on a stage big enough for them. And
cool.
Like
Thank
what I
you.
kind of mean, like it's like when I was at Michigan Metal Fest last weekend, and I saw the same stage you guys played last year.
Yeah,
stage
the Tin
3.
Roof stage.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Breathing Process played.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm standing there watching them like, oh, this is a main stage band. Like their presence on stage is gigantic. And you guys are the same.
Yeah.
And so finally seeing you on a big stage like at the intersection was that was fucking awesome.
Well, that was his
great.
first time doing the intersection like that. Condition Critical got the chance to do the intersection main stage with Mushroom Head a long time ago.
That's cool.
And that was I've only
No, I was stoked. I was stoked when I was young.
Yeah.
I was there at those shows. I got that drumstick. I still got it.
Oh,
it was
shit.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
once in a great while, I still get somebody come up to me whenever I'm in the Grand Rapids area, and they're like, "Didn't you play that Mushroom Head show?" And
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
You got to watch me suck." And that was a totally different thing, man. But yeah, the first time I got up on that intersection stage, I was like, "Whoa, this is this is pretty big." And I kind of felt like that for Cannibal Corpse, but
It wasn't.
Not as much. I don't know.
I guess for me, it wasn't necessarily just being on the stage and being like, "Whoa, this is big." Like I was ready for all that and stoked for it, and that didn't really make me nervous or anything. I was just stoked. It was just the point of the fact of me walking around after the show and just like different vibes from the whole thing was not the same. Was definitely not the same.
You're walking like normal show. You're walking around and it's probably at something like Max the Loft, something like that. This show you're walking around, it's Cannibal fucking Corpse. Like that's you know what I mean? Like that's what I was wondering.
Dude,
actually.
I was in the crowd for a little because I just will watch all the bands in the crowd because I don't give a fuck. It's like cool.
How could you not, dude? It's Hate Eternal and Cannibal.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm in the I'm in the crowd doing shit, and it got to the point where everyone was just staring at me and not at the band, and Hate Eternal was playing, and I was stoked to see John Longstrom.
Dude,
John Longstrom from Origin
he was
playing.
He was playing the drums for him, dude. And it's so intense. It was sick, and I was so stoked to be there. I was like, I'm definitely going in the crowd to watch these guys do all that shit. And I'm just walking in the crowd, and all of a sudden, there's like 30 people all in a circle looking at me, and I was like,
Really?
This is a little... Yeah, there was people in the front that were leaving the front to come, like... As soon as one person, like, went and shake my hand and did the thing where they were like, oh, that's definitely the dude, everyone was coming, and it was just weird because I was just like,
that's crazy.
There's a sick-ass band in front of you guys right now. You guys, I don't
pay no attention to me.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, dude. Watch these guys. These guys are fucking sick. But yeah, that was just for me. It was a little. I was like, oh shit, this is where I gotta start. Like,
yeah, it's hard not to be big dick swinging around all that place when you get in a situation like that. But I don't know, man. Like everybody loved it. Everybody was coming up. It's hard not to be, on cloud nine.
Oh, dude, I was humble
sense,
about it. Yeah, super humble.
Yeah,
and I wasn't
100%.
being. I was super friendly with everyone. I just have like really bad personal anxiety, and like I'm fine if I'm skateboarding or doing something where I'm just my mind's in a different place. But if I'm just sitting there and like I don't know what to say and I don't know what to do and you can't hear anything. It's Hate Eternal with
one of the loudest damn shows I've ever been to too. Like holy shit.
Oh yeah, dude, it was
the fucking
nuts.
I went and took a piss there in Hate Eternal and like the fucking stalls were vibrating. I was like, Jesus, this is loud as fuck.
They get it
super loud. But yeah, that was I was just like, oh shit, like it's fucking coming around, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was super stoked about it. It wasn't a bad thing at all.
Yeah,
it
no.
was just like a weird, like I said, epiphany. I was like, oh.
I think we definitely been, I don't know, after we released, finally got Blood Moon out there, I think we definitely people started being like, okay, Recorruptor's doing something like really important right now. And after that, it's just been big show after big show. And even the small local shows, I say small in quotations because everybody still shows, man.
Yeah.
We haven't played Summer Slamathon. Dude. We were playing the same day as Summer Slaughter.
Yep.
I think last emptiest show we had was Discarnate, and it was like
the
Wednesday,
Kalamazoo,
and like it was at Kazoo, which we don't ever play.
Where
it
what
was?
Venue was in Kalamazoo.
We played last summer? Last summer with the Faceless, Lorna Shore, Discarnate.
That guy over there would know, but I don't want to yell.
Nomadic.
Conversation.
Somebody else that I'm blanking on.
I didn't even know.
The Signs of the Swarm did vocals for a band.
Right, Lorna Shore. Yeah, he's in the band now. Yeah. And then some locals, but we played that, and it was I mean it was a Monday, so.
Yeah, no, and it wasn't bad by any means. I mean, the bar made money, and they were probably happy.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a cool little show.
Yeah.
Discarnate's still the filthiest thing I've ever witnessed live, probably.
They're fantastic.
Dude, they pound so hard for 3 dudes.
Yeah.
I was
we need the Triple D tour. What's Dying Fetus, Discarnate, and
Head Out Decapitation.
Gotta find another trio D band, yeah.
Indeed.
Kettle's 4-piece, aren't they?
They're 5 now.
5? Yeah.
Yeah, they officially inducted the one dude. Can't ever remember his name. He's got quite a foreign name, and I'm not gonna attempt it. But yeah,
you're
cool
a racist.
I know racist. if anything, I'm courteous for not trying. Fucking it up.
how I feel
he's
a lot of times, like,
No, he played because he'd been a touring guitarist for a couple years before his actual induction into the band, and we had played with him down in the Token Lounge.
Oh hell yeah!
That was off the hook.
Yeah, that was a great show.
That was. I don't know if that was our first show, but that was definitely one of the most memorable shows where people were just stage diving the whole show.
Yeah,
just acting crazy.
That was one of those shows where it was like, because it was just before Blood Moon came out. I want to say. Maybe not too long before, and the promoter didn't know who we were. Nobody really knew who we were. It was our first Detroit show, and we had to. I mean, we had to like sign a contract to sell a certain amount of tickets and all this shit. But I'm like, dude, I can't find any Detroit shows. We got to do it. Might as well be with cattle decapitation. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So they put us first super early on in the day.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that. So,
yeah.
We played and destroyed, and everyone was like, oh. And then there was a whole bunch of other openers. Mm-hmm. There was a couple good ones, but it...
Well, Carnus, that was our first show with Carnus Immortalis.
Rip. Oh, shit. Yeah, Carnus Rip, for sure. No, I'm not talking about them. They're
great.
There's...
Oh, yeah, no, it was a show.
Band, it was dead. It was dead right after us. It was weird.
I don't know. It's just hard, because you just, it's not even in terms of us, but you find any band where, this band plays and they don't really move around a lot. And
yeah.
You got to have that energy on stage. You got to 100% have that energy on stage. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. That's the fucking presence.
The only band that can stand there and absolutely destroy is Cannibal Corpse. Cannibal Corpse doesn't really move, but even still, Corpse Grinders windmilling like that, but they don't move.
Exactly. Not even at that. You gotta just get into it. I'm not saying you have to jump off of walls and destroy your body like I do or Seth does by any means. By any means, Yeah, like I wanna be able to look up and be like, oh, that guy's getting it right now and he's having a good time and he's just enjoying it and he's using the whole stage. You got some room up there.
Yeah, we played that show and it was crazy. Everybody was like, oh, who's this opening? You know how it goes.
Yeah.
People don't really pay attention to the opening band until you...
What's Josh to call them? The Impress Me Bros?
Oh,
yeah. People stand there, Impress Me Bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But we got so much good stuff off of that one show for Detroit. It was cool.
I mean, I couldn't believe especially considering Summer Slaughter was the same day.
For SummerSlamathon,
yeah, for SummerSlamathon. From when Carnus took the stage, the parking lot was full before I got there, and I got there before Carnus started playing. Like, there was a lot of fucking people there, and that was a great turnout. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I hate to be like that because I know Summer Slaughter had a good turnout.
Oh, I'm sure, and they killer lineup.
But that's my thing. They really got to knock it the fuck out with getting a bunch of local bands on side stages and I mean that's not a jab at any of the bands that played.
No,
I don't care. There was a ton of sick bands that played that.
We played the what's that called? The Chaos and Carnage tour, the first year that Carnifex played at the Crowfoot, and we did the same thing. We played a side stage, but I mean, we didn't really know that's what was going to happen. We didn't know until we signed off on it that it was like, oh, we're gonna play on a tiny rinky-dink stage while Spite's playing.
Oh, it doesn't matter though. I mean, Suffocation watched our set.
Oh, that was the other show.
Suffocation show. Sorry,
we did that too.
That was different show.
But at least that was just the one stage, and then the local bands played a little earlier. Like we didn't.
There was other bands going on in the other room.
We played during Hate Unbound, who is also a local who was on the main stage.
Oh yeah, because
But yeah, no, all the other bands, they were playing during Suffocation and Revocation, and I don't know, dude. I just don't get why any promoter thinks that's okay to do.
Yeah, that's
because all that
money. I feel like. Yeah. I will repeat what Josh said. I don't know, it was probably like a year ago. If you want to like grow your local scene and make bands get big and do shit, you do what like Cannibal Corpse. You get
Yes.
local, not saying us by any means, fucking Bog Wraith, Canis Immortalis, any band that's good and is ripping and will sell tickets if you give them a good show, especially where it's like that, where it's like it's us and the fucking dudes. Let's fucking get
100%.
that shit. That's gonna help out the local scene a lot more and do everyone a lot better. Other than the people who want money. But even then, it's not. They're still getting money. Like when we played Cannibal Corpse, I mean, we made money. It was sick, and we made people money, and I'm sure they were happy.
Because you look at a show like Summer Slaughter, and
it's a lot easier to sell tickets when it's like that.
Yeah.
Because you look at Summer Slaughter, and it's like, well, yeah, you get to say that you played with cattle decapitation and carnifex, but did you really? Because you didn't, I don't know, man, like, I don't know, because with this particular thing, you sign off on a contract that says you have to sign this amount of tickets and you have to play on a different stage during the same time as another national band is playing on that stage.
Right.
And at the end of the day, how much is it really doing for your band? Because you're essentially playing to your friends that you know you can coax into watching you on that stage, plus a couple other stragglers that come through. And, you know, I mean, sometimes it's not always that way. I'm sure, you know, bands like My Own Will definitely probably pulled a good crowd for theirs, but they're also a little bit above that echelon for local metal right now. I'm just saying that what happens is that you're essentially playing a local show at a national show.
Right.
Because you're just off somewhere on a different stage. And
Super shows don't work unless it's a super show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you don't get paid.
No.
No.
You never get paid.
You aren't getting paid for that.
Which is crazy. Like, you know, like that's something him and I have talked about a lot is how fucked up that whole situation is, because back in the day, like if you go on Netflix and watch the Twisted Sister documentary, bands like them, and even fucking as late, you know, a couple years later with bands like Cannibal and stuff a little bit, you could find places around town to play 5 nights a week and play multiple sets a night and make money off every set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was something you could do back then. Now you can't.
Local bands don't do that now.
You can't make money now. Like there's no. You got to half the
not
fucking
that it's about the money at all. It's not. It's not. But
it certainly helps with the the whole process.
And if you want to do it as a career and want to do it, you know, and try to produce it like that, well, yeah, it's your life, man. You got to have something to suffice off of.
Right.
And it's not like I'm trying to rip
when you want
people
this,
off or anything like that.
It's it's such a whole conversation with that, because I mean, you can make money doing this.
Yeah.
Are you going to make livable money?
That's
not
the
for
question.
A long time.
Right.
But like at our point in time, we make money.
Hell yeah.
But we as people don't make money off of Recorruptor. Recorruptor makes money.
And it gets reinvested back into Recorruptor.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
To make it better.
And a lot of bands don't really understand. I'm not trying to be that guy that's just, you know, you have to do this, you have to do that. You know what I mean? Because nobody likes hearing what to do from a guy that's not.
And there's also no
up there yet.
There's no right or wrong way to do it.
No.
You know what I mean?
But I think definitely a good way to start is not booking yourselves on a bunch of shit shows. Yeah. I hate to be like that, but if you want to play, a lot, then play a lot. That's fine.
Yes.
Just don't expect a bunch of money to come through and a bunch
you
of people to show up every
over
time.
Here, crackhead boo-boo's way.
Shit, but
kind of in the respect with what you were saying, like, you know, with like it, I feel like
y'all should come over here to smoke that.
Just close that curtain there.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I feel like it means more, and it's a little more. I mean, I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on what the show is, but like when you're playing something that's like 4 bands and it's like 1 or 2 headliners, as opposed to like what Summer Slaughter is or like what Metal Fest is. Like I feel like it's a little more easier to kind of like come away, you know, in the green as far as like, you know, what you're making and stuff, and like just the whole experience and everything, as opposed to trying to like, you know, convince convince somebody to come to like a big festival kind of deal, and then like you're not really getting much other than like selling a ticket and whatever merch that they may or may not buy. You know,
it depends, because I think that the Michigan Metal Fest has always worked out in our favor as far as like the money thing, because we always sold our tickets and we always sold a lot of merch. I mean, it's just the other stuff is just unfortunate shit, like breaking the power on the stage that one year.
You guys had trouble last year with the your set kept getting cut out. But I'll say this though, and I know you guys weren't there or anything, but I went this year, stage 3 and 4. Not only did they not have a single technical problem all day, they were actually at one point ahead of schedule.
That's good.
The main stage during Beyond Threshold, which was one of the headliners, the first of the headliners, they had a little mic trouble.
Gotcha.
That was it all day long.
Well, that's good.
They've fixed it, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I don't dog them for. I don't dog them for
No.
anything. It just, shit happens.
Yeah.
I think we've all experienced technical difficulties, and it sucks, but you deal with it.
I've lost an episode before. Like, absolutely. Learning how to do all this shit, like, it's fucking crazy.
I've lost a 45-minute skate video.
Oh, no.
That's a bummer.
All I know is that when we blew that power system, we ended up selling $1,000 of merch that day because we were known as the band that blew the speakers.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So, I mean, whatever happens. There's always a good, like...
that year, though, did anybody else blow anything? Because I was at the other stage for a little bit, and it never blew when I was there, but I wasn't. It wasn't I was hanging out.
They were having problems all day, but I don't know if anyone straight up blew it.
Not quite like ours.
No, yeah.
That just doesn't make sense, though. It's like how electricity works. You blow a fuse or you don't blow a fuse.
And it's
unless it's people not knowing where everything's connected,
and
type of deal.
The even weirder part there was the stage you were on was technically 2 stages, 3 and 4. The ones you guys played was 3. 4 didn't have hardly any problems at all. Not a single problem during Bog Wraith. I don't remember.
I would attest to that.
I
definitely couldn't hear Alex hardly at all.
Oh, you think they're...
But
so
we're just saying, I'm not
saying
with the PM, I'm just saying with power and, like, producing electricity.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, because, I don't know what happened in that sense, because they had to get a backup generator.
Well, that's the thing that's confusing me, is that they had generators ready, but I didn't see anybody use them until it blew out, and then everyone was frustrated. Then some guy was just like, start the generator, and then they were like... oh, okay. It just really...
yeah.
It's weird.
I don't
know. It was odd, but...
Sorry.
I don't know shit.
I don't really have anything else to say other than I've said on that.
It was a good time. It was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I know that they were having problems with it all day because I was watching, like, I was kind of out and about just to kind of see, like, I don't know, it was just kind of the one advantage I like of playing something like that size later on in the day, is that you can kind of, like, see what's going on and stuff and kind of, like, prepare for things. And there was times where I was, like, genuinely nervous.
Yeah.
Because I was like, are we going to be, and, like, especially after watching you guys set, I was like, well, shit, like, we got to, well, it just, like, just watching stuff, like, it was like, I don't know if we're going to be even able to get through any of this. So, like, so just kind of, do what we have,
It seemed like it worked out for everyone.
I
didn't hear of anybody not having any problems where they couldn't actually. I feel like we were the worst. It wasn't. We got to play.
I know definitely.
Everyone was able to play. The problem was the delays.
Yeah,
like, that's what fucked. Really
because Beyond Threshold was playing that year on that stage.
Yep, they were like the headliner on that stage.
They were playing.
The last ones to play.
I think they finally got done halfway through the one band with the girl.
Yeah.
The
Convalescence?
Nope.
Not Convalescence.
Much later, the
Raven Black.
Raven Black, yeah. they're they're a weird one. They're like here's the thing. I'm not in love with that style of music, but I fucking love what they're doing. And I really like them, and I really support them, like in terms of being in the Michigan scene and stuff like that. Like, they're really fucking going hard, and they're really they're doing a good job, and they put on a good show, like they really do.
My coworker told me that he knows one of the guitarists, Chris.
Hell yeah.
And said that he's a really cool dude. He's jammed with him now and then. But yeah, musically, it's not for me.
It's not for me, but it is interesting.
Right.
Like it's because it's
you
so
can tell they're
different.
trying something very different.
Yeah, and I dig that. Even if it's not necessarily something up my alley, I fucking love that they're doing it.
Yeah. And me as a listener, I've just gone down such a putrid road.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Once you get into the heavier shit, it's hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to go back. Yeah, I still like some. Yeah, I don't know.
What has Aaron showed you of technical voice?
Yeah, well, let's talk about that a little bit.
I'm intrigued a lot.
Definitely. Well, real quick before I forget, did you guys see that Spite actually just announced they're dropping a new album?
I just saw the single. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, but
well, the single's been out for a little while. The single.
No, the newest one they
wait,
put
they came out with a new one.
It's called Judgment Day.
I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck with it.
Spite's good.
To be honest, I don't really fuck with Spite like that. I appreciate it. It's definitely heavy.
I dig 'em.
But it's not something I tune into a lot.
When you first showed them to me, one of the first things I said is, "This is the band you want opening for you." Like, this band gets shit going.
To be honest, in the deathcore genre, I wouldn't want them. Like if I was a deathcore band and they opened for me, they'd show me the fuck up. Dude, I mean, I hate to be like that because their music is one thing or not.
I don't know.
There's such a fine line between deathcore and hardcore beatdown kind of style. I don't know, but
New York hardcore, you straight edge.
I don't know. It's just when I think of hardcore, I think of like Minor Threat. And,
dude, that's
Minor Threat and negative approach and
Bad Brains.
Bad Brains. A lot of stuff like that, and people talk about hardcore nowadays, and it's like, I don't know. Deathcore is molded into so many, like, I don't want to say it's grown so much because it hasn't. It's pretty much stayed the same past, Whitechapel and Suicide Silence coming out. I mean, I guess people can argue about me on that, but stylistically...
could people argue that Gent derived from deathcore?
I think that's kind of fair.
Not in the Meshuggah aspect, obviously. Yeah, and there's probably a couple bands that are overseas that I have no idea about that I've been doing it back in the day.
It's just hard for me to see gent as a real genre. Like any time I listen to a band that somebody calls gent, they just sound like a branch off of metalcore to me.
There's that, or there's like I see it just as more of like an extension of like progressive.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I see it instead of its own.
Because for me, like, Periphery has never once sounded like Meshuggah to me.
Oh, no.
Ever. I've never listened to a Born of Osiris song and thought that's Meshuggah. They just, I don't know, Meshuggah sounds like Meshuggah.
Right.
Nothing else sounds like Meshuggah.
I could argue one band, and what band.
No, and I couldn't pronounce the name for the life of me. It's hard to say. It's like
I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it correctly. So let me look it up real quick because I don't.
It's like Riser or something. It's R.
Oh, well, real quick. Chris Adler. Just to get back to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did find that. I don't. What do either of you remember what year we saw him at the 20 Monroe? What year was that?
Crystal and I were together, so it would have been 2000.
I think 17.
Yeah,
17?
Somewhere around
there. In late 2017, Adler was involved in a motorcycle accident. He revealed the details of the accident a year later in September of 2018 when questions were raised about his absence from the Lamb of God tour. So I think that means he might have not been on the tour, I don't know, late 2017. I don't remember what time of year it was when we saw him.
I guess it could have been because the 20 Monroe date was technically an offshoot of the Slayer date. The Slayer tour, wasn't it?
No.
Because they were both on the same tour, wasn't it?
It was before. Yes.
Well, that Slayer tour's been running for 3 goddamn years.
It was. I know, but it was before the Slayer tour was announced, though. For sure. Yeah.
Okay. It was the one with Behemoth.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't remember what Because I remember I think it was like a year before the actual, like, or around the same time that I think they announced the first leg of the Slayer tour.
Because it was with the first leg there was Testament opening with Behemoth. I don't know how in the world Testament opened that thing. I don't get it.
They didn't. Wait.
It wasn't them. I don't know.
I saw that in Grand Rapids.
No, that was the one with Napalm Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the band. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the letters and how it's spelled is RXYZYXR.
It's weird. I don't know how to pronounce it. But I tell you, but he's right though. That's the closest thing I've ever listened to.
I'm telling you,
it sounds like Meshuggah.
It's like progressive or more melodic Meshuggah, and vocals are like it made me second guess that it's him all the time. All the time.
What is
Very
it?
good record. RXYZY.
The album
XR.
that they came out with a new album. I don't know. I can't pull it up right now because I don't have a lot of internet. But the album that I listened to a lot was LMNTS. It's all, if I'm not mistaken, it's all like sacred geometry and like the way the moon and space and just like weird stuff. So like a lot of like their name is like parallel. It's the same frontwards and backwards.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know too much. I'm not all in the lore of it all, but
so
from what
there's
I've been told.
shit around it. Hell yeah, that's cool.
I like the artwork a lot. That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool album.
Oh fuck, I forgot. Oh yeah, no, technical death metal.
Yes.
So a lot of them, I checked out a lot of bands that were on the Tech Trek tour. So like Archspire.
Oh, Archspire with
Archspire's
Inferi and Wormhole and Verbum.
Yep.
Yeah, this boy, he knows Verbum. He loves
I have a
Verbum.
hard on for Verbum.
Hell yeah.
They're so good.
Very good.
I don't think we've ever gotten together for any purpose at all, and he hasn't mentioned Verbum.
Well, probably in the past 3 visits for sure. But
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
but
sure.
yeah.
But that's only because people have asked every time we've been
Well,
together.
and I got you that vinyl.
And then you got me the vinyl, which is sick. You got me.
It's
I haven't looked at it. It's
Verbum's.
clear?
It's a Verbum's Illuminance with. It's a crystal clear vinyl signed by the entire band.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
It's
limited
pretty
to like
amazing.
200 copies.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
But yeah, I would
Just trying to take you out on a date.
Yeah, I know, dude.
It's an expensive date.
I'm an expensive date. I'm sorry.
I want it
Get
for
on it?
free. Actually, it was sweet.
Tesqua.
another one is
I hope you can hear that.
that my uncle, or not my fucking uncle, my
Your
cousin
uncle?
got me into was Rings of Saturn.
Ooh, I'm actually not.
They're different. They're real weird. They get real weird, and I don't know, I can't tell, but I almost feel like some of that stuff is, not a person
I'll kind of go off
doing it
top.
because it's so fast.
I'll kind of go off slightly off topic, but it does relate here. Have you ever like listened to a band or been a fan of a band, and that kind of gets ruined because you find out the guy is an asshole?
Yes.
I can't say from my personal experiences that Lucas Mann is an asshole because I did not talk to him. I won't put that on anybody without actually having a proper judgment.
Hot takes.
All I know is that I
Stop
watched him treat multiple people like an asshole when I watched him perform. He was not very kind to anybody at all, and I know I can't really like be like that because I know that he took some time off of touring with his own band because he says that he has touring anxiety. It kind of really got to him, and that's a very valid thing.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Not everybody's cut out to be on the road.
All I know is that I kind of wish that I don't know. I just know what I saw. I know how he treated other people, and that really downplayed my
That's a bummer.
enjoyment for Rings of Saturn for me.
They have such great cover art.
It's
Oh yeah.
I think
really,
it's just
yeah.
they're one of those bands where it's like it's so absolutely absurd that I
It's-
kind
yeah.
of
I like
it.
grind
Yeah.
bands and I like,
Like-
noise bands, but that's for me. That
But
was just
You can that's playable. You can tell it's played. Rings of Saturn, I don't know, man.
I would.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
that's what
like
I'm
if
saying.
you can't play it, then you can't play it. That's fine. It's whatever.
But,
Just
like,
don't go
almost, like,
around parading like you can.
Maybe no human can play that though.
Right.
Like that is some of it is. But yeah, like he my cousin turned me on. I was hard listening to
he's
some
not
of that.
running around the stage.
Yes,
No.
he doesn't even move.
There.
Doesn't even look like he wants to be there.
That's always
I don't
disappointing.
know. That's
all
just
right,
my judgment of
I-
it.
I'd say probably at the moment though, my favorite tech death band is Revocation.
Revocation's
I just
wonderful.
I love their guitar work so much.
They've never
That's-
put out anything less than stellar.
Yeah.
Every album.
Every
Wha-
single
I will
album.
listen through
What-
every single one.
What would you suggest to me though? What would you, if you could turn me on to
As far
something?
as
what would it
technical
be?
goes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean the
Beat.
basis of it, the one you didn't mention is Necrophagist.
Yeah, Necrophagist
Yes.
is
I've-
stupid
Yes.
good.
I don't know if I've heard
I hate
it.
That's
it.
Yeah,
straight
I've seen
like
their
death
name.
metal, technical death metal.
That's
like,
yeah.
I've been.
It's straight. It's too good, man. It's too good. They have weird timings. Both guitars are usually doing something different the whole
Yeah.
time, and it's like they
I-
build off each
yeah.
other with all the melodies and shit. It's
Oh, yeah.
weird.
There's been a
Really
couple
weird.
of movements in technical death metal, like as far as like like how black metal had like Bathory and Hellhammer and Merciful
Yeah.
Fate originally, and then it shot off and did the second wave with Mayhem and Burzum and all that. Technical death metal has done that too, and the forefront of every single movement has involved Christian Menzer and Hannes Grossman from Necrophagist,
Oh wow.
because Epitaph came out and that changed the fucking game.
world.
I
Changed the
personally,
world.
I hate to be like that, but I don't think there's been a technical death metal album that has established quite what Epitaph did.
Oh wow.
Even though nowadays I kind of like to jam Onset a little more, Onset to Putrefaction, because it's a little grimier, and I really like my shit grimy. But dude, Epitaph, front to back, it's
Nuts, dude.
amazing. And then Spawn of Possession came out with Incurso, which had Hannes and Christian on it.
Oh yeah.
And that's that's another whole.
There's some math involved with that.
yeah,
and,
like it's just absolutely beautiful melodies that are
dude,
in there
Uh,
while
it's-
still maintaining something brutal. And I don't know,
It's on something different for sure,
Yeah.
dude. It's
Necrophagist,
yeah.
Beyond Creation's fantastic.
I was gonna say Beyond Creation. Yeah,
Although I
dude.
really do prefer that first album over the other
Aura.
ones. Yeah. They've always maintained a really good, really good sound. But the Aura
really
is
dug
just
it.
really, really
Yeah.
interesting.
I haven't listened to too much of the new one, but I really liked Earthborn Evolution,
Yep.
the second
Yeah.
one.
That
was
one's
cool.
sick too. That one's really cool.
It's cool stuff that you can kind of just sit back and
Old
chill to.
Fallujah.
Oh, yeah.
That
Old
I have heard some
Fallujah.
Fallujah.
Fallujah's
Yeah.
sick. I don't really get down with the new Fallujah,
Nope.
unfortunately.
uh,
No, there's
Love the
there's-
dudes. Every time I see them, they were always great.
Yeah.
Always good dudes.
Very,
I knew
very
I was
nice
very
guys.
excited to see them, and always made sure that they would go out to fucking say what's up. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Yep, very, very cool dudes. Just there's some. They changed it up with the new record, and it wasn't something I connected with.
That's all
Fair
right.
enough.
man.
That's all there is
Happens.
to it.
Yeah.
I that's something I
Can't
leave
dog.
open to every band.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you get Job for a Cowboy, and it's like I enjoyed what they did before because that's like early shit for what young Dusty was listening to. But then you get Sun Eater, I think.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah. Job for a Cowboy. I don't.
technical
Sick.
death
Yeah.
metal, new Job for a Cowboy. Telling
Yeah,
you.
Huh. Oh yeah.
yeah. They're two newest records, and I mean that's
Stereo
that's
bass.
still been. It's already been about 4 or 5 years since Sun Eater was released.
Which is nuts because that's to me, it's still like
It's
that
still
holds
new.
up
Yeah.
very heavily,
Yeah.
which is weird.
That's definitely a band where it's like a weird, not weird, but really interesting evolution.
Exciting. Dude. They haven't come out with anything since.
hmm
What do you?
Well, I'm just saying, like from Doom, where it's like
such
a really
progression.
pivotal
Yeah.
deathcore album.
Oh, look at that boy.
But when you look back at it, is it really like amazing? Probably not. I think I think it was really amazing for that time. I think it was really, for anybody, it was definitely something new. They kind of took
that. To me, that didn't hold up for sure. That definitely didn't hold up. But like I said, when I was a Grom, that's what got me into it.
I was gonna say, as far as like I go to Genesis if I want to hear like Job for Cowboy, like classic stuff. But Doom is kind of more like nostalgia,
right?
Me. Like it's not. I mean, it's got cool songs on it, but it's not like my favorite. And it's also not something that like I go to when like I want to hear like a classic song. But as far as like
it's the one where I remember seeing Entombment of the Machine on MTV and.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that was a thing.
Oh yeah,
I missed out on those days.
Yeah, that was kind of the end of. I can't really recall any like big metal bands being played on MTV after that.
I maybe seen like a couple hair bands, but it was like probably because it was like 80s, like it was like an 80s hour or something.
I think the last music video I ever saw on MTV was some Avenged Sevenfold song that came out. I think it was for the Nightmare album. I remember
seeing Green Day all the time.
Yeah, lots of Green Day.
Yeah. But like
early 2000s.
Yeah. But yeah, like Job for a Cowboy did that, and then every single album afterwards is just, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I still like Ruination the best, but it's just because
that's a good one.
Dude, it's just front to back. There is no stopping. There's no stopping. But it's literally just a fucking hair above Sun Eater for me. I think it's just because that's really where I cut my teeth on Job for a Cowboy. Because Doom came out and I was like, it's not bad. But everybody, I don't know, the hype factor of it kind of ruined it for me. Because all the kids that I didn't like were listening to Job for a Cowboy.
Job for a Cowboy guy.
Yeah. And so I didn't really pay much attention to Genesis when that came out. But then Ruination dropped. And they dropped that video for Unfurling a Darkened Gospel, and I was like, fuck.
Hell yeah.
This band, got nasty.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really fucking good.
And they just, went from there. Really cool band.
Sick.
I remember hearing the drums on that one and just being like...
For Ruination?
Shit.
Oh, especially the intro. It's ridiculous.
Job.
Job, man.
Dude, Job for a Cowboy was the first band I ever crowd surfed to.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hell
Yeah, what show was that?
Was that Amon Amarth?
Amon Amarth.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Amon Amarth and Children of Bodom.
Oh, fuck.
That was
Battlecross and Huntress.
I was at that show.
Yeah.
Bodom was headlining, right?
Yeah.
I was 100%. It is the intersection?
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Yep,
that's
absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely insane show, and it's absolutely crazy to me that Behemoth was supposed to play it too.
Yep. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But then Nurgle came down with leukemia.
Clint was like, I'm taking you to the show.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm not taking you to the show.
Yeah.
Because that was that was an offshoot from Mayhem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That year's Mayhem.
Yeah, I remember seeing all those offshoot dates for it. And like the other ones were like, oh, here's 4 bands for Mayhem and whatever. And then they announced the one for the Intersections like, here's 7 of the fucking bands.
Sickest bands.
All the sickest bands.
Like
absolutely.
you might as well not even go to. Well, and
but
even still, because not only did they do an offshoot for all those death metal bands, but it was either 2 days before or 2 days after Mastodon and Machine Head played together, and they were also on Mayhem.
I wanted to go to that so bad.
Chris went. Chris Snook went. My buddy. He went and actually met Mastodon.
Yeah, I did too. That's that Anthrax poster was signed at that Mayhem right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I also I thought I was standing in line to get a free Rockstar Energy drink, and it turned out I was in line to meet Mastodon.
What a surprise!
Serious?
Yeah, swear to God.
You wanted to write. You're like,
fuck?
I'm so tired right now, and then you're like, oh, Mastodon. Okay, that's same basically.
That's crazy. They just handed me a free. I don't know where I got that poster in the other room or something, but yeah, they fucking signed a poster for you. And yeah, Bodom. Yeah, I met Bodom that year too. That was insane.
Can I leak something?
Mm-hmm.
Can I leak something? It's not even really a leak because I don't even know if we're gonna do it by any means. You probably know what it is from what was just brought up.
Okay, if I don't like it, I get to kick you in the balls later.
That's fine.
And that's payback for Kalamazoo, too.
Hey, that's it. That's okay. I mean, I'm not going to go too much detail, but Recorruptor... Me and Seth have been talking about doing a Mastodon cover.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
We're interested in it, yeah. I don't know if...
I don't even know if it's going to happen. I don't even know if
Have
it
you
will.
guys ever done any covers?
Yeah, we used to do covers.
The Black Dahlia Murder. What a horrible night to have a curse.
I mean...
I remember seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
That was
I
sick.
mean, I think the first time I saw you guys after your set was over, I went up to Aaron. I was like, "Oh, that's the next Dahlia." Like that was my immediate first reaction to you guys. Was like, they have that energy, they have the fucking sound, like they fucking that. I feel like I just watched the next Dahlia, like genuinely.
Like, I think we all definitely take heavy influence, except for Josh because he's older than most of those guys.
At the gates.
So he kind of At the Gates is the more primal influence there.
He just turned me on to At the Gates because we saw them open for Behemoth in November, and
we also
St.
covered At the
Andrews.
Gates.
We saw it in Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah!
It was insane.
Oh dude, yeah. He turned me on to them. Slaughter of the Soul, isn't that the name of the album?
Yeah.
I listened to that. I was like, wow, this is really fucking good. And then he goes, yeah, it came out in like 95.
Yeah.
Blew my fucking
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Like that sound existed in
It's the
1995.
quintessential
they
melodic death metal record.
Genuinely the beginning of all of
It's
that.
them and it's always credited down to At the Gates, In Flames, and Carcass, because Carcass did Heartwork. And Heartwork was so important for the time, too. And Heartwork is an absolutely fantastic record.
Oh, 100%. I love Heartwork. I love Carcass.
I've never really cared much for In Flames myself, but I see their influence, too, with, doing Lunar Strain and
but
early on like that.
I don't think either of them nailed the sound like At the Gates did, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
they were the first ones that really had that sound.
I think. I agree with that. I guess it depends on what road you're going down with melodic death metal, because I consider Black Dahlia Murder melodic death metal.
Yeah.
But you can clearly tell that they're more influenced by Carcass than they are by At the Gates.
Yeah.
Like, so much that they even did a cover of This Mortal Coil a long time ago.
I just remember seeing you guys at a show and you guys played Blinded by Fear.
Yep.
And I was so psyched.
Yep, we used to do Blinded by Fear a little bit.
Yep. What was I feel like we used to do...
We did that.
Maybe it was Omerta, but that was back.
That was even before I was in the band,
day.
Yeah, I did Omerta.
You guys should just do some fucking fun covers and just like throw them up on YouTube. Like, just,
we've always talked about it. We've always talked about doing
love that so
hard.
much.
Dude, you don't know how many songs we've all thrown out and been like, "Well, we should cover that."
We've all
Do 'em
learned
all.
so many songs.
Just do them all.
Well, at this point,
hard.
it is hard to really nail something with as much as we practice, which isn't a lot.
I would never want to post, like, doing shows I'm down for, 'cause it's all good time, but if you got to post something you really like, that's basically like you're going to put it in an album, so you kind of, to me, man.
I don't know.
Unless it's a live
bootlegs are
video.
cool, yeah.
Fuck, but I mean, like,
Yeah, I dig that. Yeah,
but the whole thing with
cool.
like doing the videos during like the recording process, bringing people along for the ride. Fucking when we started the podcast, like, I was terrified when we started this, and like what it was crazy to me. And then I went back and watched the very, very first episode of Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And the first like 10 minutes of that very first episode, it's on a webcam on top of a computer, first of all. So like the first 10 minutes, no one's even talking, and it's just like a close-up of Rogan's forehead trying to figure out if the camera's on. You know what I mean? That's where that all started.
Wow.
Right there.
Yeah.
So like fucking, even if it's not finely tuned and all nicely done and everything, like the rawness of like just posting something, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be album quality. You know what I mean? Just bring people along for the ride. You're just having fun.
No, I get that. I'm not saying necessarily have it album quality. I just mean like just getting it tight and like I don't want to just like play a cover like a cover band would. If we do a cover and we want to play it, we want to make it like Recorruptor.
Really, with anything that we do as a band, we've always if we don't feel 100% comfortable with it, we don't do it.
Have you ever done like have you ever like live streamed a practice on Twitch or something?
We've talked about that a lot.
Yeah,
I've wanted to do that.
That would be awesome.
We have a super small practice space, so it's I don't know, it's hard to kind of get everything in there like that.
I think Josh's GoPro can stream.
Yeah,
if he's got a newer one.
Yeah.
Your phones can do it.
Well, right, but again, getting that whole wide picture in there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Right.
Mine probably could actually, now that I've got this thing, but
I can't remember which one it is, but there's a Devil Driver music video where they just filmed it in their storage unit practice space. You know what I mean? Like nothing. And there's actually even a point in the video where the guy holding the camera falls down, so like it stops for a minute and you can hear Des going, "Are you okay?" Like, but you know that kind of shit. You know what I mean? The fucking like bringing people to the underground in a sense. Like I think that stuff is awesome.
Yeah, no.
And like doing live streaming of practice, I would watch it.
Hell yeah.
I would watch it, but maybe I'm just a crazy person. I don't know.
No, I've always thought about it for sure.
Well, I mean, there's always, I feel like there's always that mix of like doing something because it's, you know, as far as like cover songs, like playing something like practicing because it's fun.
Yeah.
And
throwing a cover song in the practice, you know what I mean?
But
just for fun.
Then there's also that side of like you want it to represent band, like you want it to represent the sound and everything, and sometimes it's hard to like have both, you know what I mean?
I think honestly a part of the reason why we also don't really bounce back with covers like that is because of the fact that the bands that we usually talk about covering is pretty difficult stuff. Like we've always
I've never
that's
heard,
also another thing.
I've never heard anyone go, "Yeah, I covered Black Dahlia." Like that's
right. Well, I mean, even
intense.
still, like that. I don't know. I just like it's not like Black Dahlia is easy to play.
No.
But it's I don't know. We've talked about doing a Suffocation song forever.
Oh, Jesus.
But that's
super hard.
Difficult.
That when you sang with who was it? Carnus? That
did
Slayer
Angel
cover?
of Death? Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah,
that's
a lot of fun.
Yeah, so you
Clint
know,
was not ready for that.
I did not know they were doing that.
Oh shit!
Did you know what song it was? Or no?
No, I did not know what the hell they were doing.
Holy shit!
Because we've known those guys. Like I said, we played with them at Cattle like 3 years ago, and maybe longer than that. I don't remember. And they played it that first time too. They did Angel of Death.
Oh yeah.
So they've been doing the cover for a long time, and as many times as we'd played with them and watched them, they would do Angel of Death, but they didn't invite me. I don't know if it's because they didn't know I was like the biggest fucking Slayer fan, but but yeah, they finally one day, I think it was their CD release, told me to get up there and do it, and we've been doing it ever since. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, he was just I was trying to buy a drink.
Yeah,
I was trying to buy a drink, and he was like, "Yeah, why don't we let's get Clint up here, Clint, let's go." I'm like, "The fuck do they want me for? They didn't nobody talk to me about this." I walked up there, and then Shane kind of just shouted, "Angel of Death!"
Yeah, you guys killed it.
I was like, "Oh, okay." Thanks for giving me like 10 seconds of prep time.
That was a really awesome shot of energy right in the beginning of the show, though.
Yeah.
I was a little worried.
Why?
I'm not gonna lie. Why didn't Clint like Slayer, man? He blew out his voice.
Start swinging.
That first note, yeah. I
might go a little too hard.
Got up there a little bit.
Clint does vocal warm-ups. Like,
hell yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hell yeah.
No, Clint didn't. No.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Zenith screaming?
Clint's the man.
I think the Zenith screaming is a little... I don't agree with it.
The first one doesn't really like.
It's very dated.
Technique.
Well, it's not even so much dated. It's the fact that I think what she says and what she does is absolutely correct and is absolutely important, but it's very basic.
Okay.
A lot of people don't really realize that what she's doing is kind of just giving a platform for you to build up on.
Yeah.
Which is really great.
Yeah.
I think that the Xenic Screaming has done a lot, but I come from a background where I've been doing choral and musicals since 3rd grade.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I got started on that whole thing, and every time that we do anything, whether you're doing like a rehearsal or you're doing a practice, for choir, it's like 10 minutes of warm up.
Hell yeah.
I personally do about 20 before I do go on stage, but yeah, I'm doing a lot of scales.
Hell yeah.
I do a lot of singing scales, and I do a lot of I liked in particular to sing 90s grunge songs.
Okay.
It's just really weird, but
Alice in Chains.
Yeah, I
I've
absolutely
practiced
love
with Clint before shows,
Yeah.
just singing songs. It's good all the time.
I absolutely
awesome.
bust out some Alice in Chains. I think that they definitely, especially somebody like Lane Staley and Chris Cornell were very good about showcasing a lot of different ranges in their music.
Yeah.
Vocal warm-ups are so important to me just because of the fact that I'm going to be going up there and putting, how do I explain that? It's just that if you don't warm up, it's like stretching before exercising.
Right.
Yeah. That's essentially what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because if you're injuring yourself, or if you feel like you're injuring yourself or hurting yourself after you do screaming, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
it's not good.
And that might not even be necessarily a lack of warming up, but whatever it is, if you feel pain after you do vocals, then you're doing something wrong, and you need to change it.
You gotta like, if you want to do it like for a long time, and like you want to do it like you want to tour.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to do. You gotta. I know there's a lot of people that are like after the show, and they're like, I want to tour so bad. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, you don't.
Man, I don't like.
Yeah, some people
You gotta get some technique.
I have definitely noticed a lot of vocalists, some of which are even personal friends. I've seen them, they bust it out every show. It's amazing. And then they go on like a week-long tour, and you can totally tell that they weren't ready for, they weren't prepping like they're supposed to.
Right.
I think it's very important to take care of your voice. And
we just want to see all the homies still do it, man.
And that's hard. Yeah.
See, like,
well, it's hard because, especially I think a very important part of resting your voice is actually resting your voice. You go and everybody wants to talk to you after the show. I'm not saying you should just straight up not talk to anybody, but you'd be hooting and hollering like you want to, like, because you're really amped, Dusty. You're on tour,
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, peace and quiet is important after a show. Definitely important. You don't want to be...
That's funny as fuck, because that's another thing that literally on the last episode I listened to that Josta said. He was like, fucking... It's not the shows that kill your vocal cords. It's talking to people for 2 hours after the show.
Yeah.
That's what does it.
Yeah. It's like, again, back to the exercising thing. It's like you do just a bunch of anaerobics, and then you go and you start, like, you're just doing little activities afterwards. After that, you're going to, I don't know, you do something for that long, it's going to hurt eventually.
Yeah.
I always wondered about that from like a touring or like a longevity perspective, as far as like doing vocals for, for nights at a time. How it like, how do you even bounce back from doing that, especially when it's like the super like heavy, like guttural type stuff. That kind of takes a lot out of you. I don't know. It's always been something I've been curious about in terms of like how you keep that same level every night and stuff.
It's I don't know.
It's hard.
It's a lot of it's really hard to explain, but I can't say that I'm without my faults too, because I am an avid smoker. 100%. And I know those cigarettes are not good for me and my voice, but
there you go, Clint. Start of a new age.
Yeah.
If you watch the making of Sacrament,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Randy was smoking before every song.
100%. Yeah.
He said it helped, but now he vapes.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how much it hurts your voice as it does your endurance.
Yeah.
I've noticed more endurance failure than I have, and even still, I'm still busting out quite long screams.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just depends
But
with the
you
person.
also warm up.
I also warm up. Yeah.
It's different. I mean, think about it. Like, if you're going to, like, run a mile, you don't do anything, you just run a mile. Like, you're instantly going to get winded. But if you just take long, deep breaths and you can, like, breathe in more air, you're actually going to breathe in more oxygen than what you normally do because your lungs will stretch.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know that they always say, you know, that it's very common that cold beverages is not good for the voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not at all.
Really
Shocks
cold
it.
or hot shocks your vocal cords.
Huh.
But I'll be damned if I'm not drinking beer before my show. So, but that's just me, man. I'm just saying that cold. I mean, even alcohol in general, unless it's like whiskey,
Right.
is not good for the vocals.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm
We're
stubborn.
here to have a good time.
Yeah, I'm stubborn. If I can't have a beer, so be it.
Is there like any? Because I know everybody's different, but like you guys have like pre-show like ritual stuff you guys do.
For me, yeah, I just warm up.
I mean, warm up, yeah. Other than that, smoke.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
But I mean, not like. I guess maybe like setting up. Maybe everyone has their ritual when they set up their gear, but like. We don't have like anything really like
Recorruptor.
Hey, we used to sacrifice our bases, but then we kind of liked Alex, so we kept him.
Well, I was just saying because like there's certain things as far as like personally that I do to kind of like get myself in the right headspace to kind of be able to do be up there and stuff, and like I don't know I've always just been kind of curious about.
I mean, I guess everyone's standard is like get to the show, don't be fucking super late like an asshole. First thing, just get to the show, and then once you get to the show, find everyone, make sure everyone knows you're there, say what's up, let them know that you love them, and then go get a beer and smoke a
seriously,
joint and get ready.
we're very open about how we feel about each other in the band. Like we don't hesitate and tell a brother that we love him.
It's the shit, man.
100%.
If you want to fucking live with them for the next 10 years, you got to. You got to get used to them real quick.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Band is a ride or die brotherhood.
Yeah,
it's family.
Yeah, family, absolutely.
But as far as specific rituals go, no, we don't have anything. I think if I'm not feeling in the right mood, then I'll turn on some angry music. Well, not necessarily angry, just really downright heavy. I definitely go to Meshuggah a lot for downright heavy. Even though I've listened to a lot of putrid death metal, I don't think any of it really hits me to the core like Meshuggah does.
Yeah.
I definitely
Opposito. But
yeah,
I don't know.
He likes
to
chill.
Dude. Well, not even like. Well, yeah, probably from like at shows and stuff. I'm probably like on the way to the show. I don't know. I might be rocking death metal on the way back. I'm there, but like, yeah. Once I'm home, I'm like chilling, listening to other shit. I just more or less meant like I can groove like the most putrid death metal.
Oh, 100%.
I get way too excited.
I think I just hear something like, I don't know. I just really want to get.
When you're angry, yeah. I don't know. Dying Fetus for me, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I hear something like Corridor of Chameleons by Meshuggah, or like Lethargica. Have you ever watched Meshuggah live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not. No.
They're one of those bands that they're on my list to see live.
They have like basically they have their own everything, their own light show dude that's been doing lights
the
for
dude
for
that
20
does
years.
lights is just one guy.
Dude, I'm not even joking. He like
and it's not programmed.
He's like has a full keyboard of lights and he has a full routine like he's plays with the band like he's a part of it.
Wow.
Like it's not
Damn.
not like a thing like he's a part like he'll go to the practices and hang out and he knows all the songs and all the shit so everything is like impeccable.
Yeah.
Dude.
When they do Lethargica, or at least they did when I saw them. I can't, because I know they don't do it this way on the live video that they put out for the Obson cycle. But when we saw them a couple years back at the Majestic, they went into Lethargica and they slowed it down. And if you listen to if you know that song, it's already slow.
It's
So, it's just doing a fucking dun 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 dun. But now it's just dun 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 dun. And, oh, man.
that's one of my favorite songs from them,
Ridiculous.
too,
Absolutely ridiculous. I've long given up smoking weed, but I definitely smoked for that show.
Hell yeah.
And that was crazy. I was feeling every single beat down in my butt.
That's awesome.
Great show.
Where'd you see them at?
The Majestic Theater.
Okay, yeah, that's
it
what you
was
said,
them,
yeah.
and
I'm
they
so
played a
bummed.
gargantuan set, and High on Fire opened
Oh, nice. Oh,
with
yeah.
Matt
Yeah.
Pike,
No.
and he was gnarly. Absolutely gnarly. I'm glad I
That's
got
the
to see
shit
him
right
because I
there.
still haven't seen Sleep yet. I want to see
I've had
Sleep super
multiple
bad.
opportunities to see Sleep.
Yeah, ever since they came back, yeah.
I can't get into like super like drudgy like doom metal. For
Oh,
some
that's
reason.
we love it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
What's like some good like gateway stuff like?
To be honest, if you don't like most of it, you're not
It's
Probably
gonna.
not gonna.
Okay, so you don't like it because it's too slow and too like it's a little too drony, basically.
I'll say it's a time and a place thing for me. Like if
Oh yeah, it's not like you're. So like a lot of doom metal bands are really sad. So
Yeah.
like if you're feeling really happy, you probably don't want to play. I mean, there are happy doom metal bands,
Yeah.
and there are
Yeah.
cool ones that are upbeat and cool. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
no.
I mean I've checked out like Bell Witch.
Bell Witch.
Cool.
Bell Witch is really
That-
cool. I
you
really
like
enjoyed
Bell
them.
Witch?
They're
Yeah,
That
dude.
really well, no, it's not
They're-
that they're not great. It just surprises me for somebody that doesn't like
Yeah.
doom metal
They are
that you would
doomy.
like Bell
They're
Witch
doomy.
because they're really
Have you ever heard
out
of
there.
Have you ever heard of Paul Bear?
Yeah.
Paul Bear
Okay.
is
Yeah, they're
wonderful.
cool.
I
Yeah, I've heard
really,
them.
dude.
Yeah.
They have a whole fucking thing in their album covers and everything. Maybe not too much with their new shit. I don't know. That's why a lot of
Yeah.
people don't like them. I still dig it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know, just like I don't know, it's hard
Windhand?
Windhand is wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah.
Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats.
that's a little
That's
bit more
that's more
stoner
psych,
rock.
yeah,
or
psych
psychedelic,
rock.
Which
I don't know. They
dig a lot of
definitely
like
got
that.
some songs though that go down that route because like
They play in standard.
No Return from the new album is definitely doom as fuck.
Oh yeah, there's some heavy shit in that for sure. That's very
Yeah.
doomy sounding. It's very culty. Uncle Acid and Deadbeats is very culty. Really cool though.
Yeah, they say. To be honest, they always talk about how Ghost sounds like Scooby-Doo music.
Scooby-Doo chase
or
music.
whatever. Uncle Acid kind of has that vibe, but it's not corny and cheesy like Ghost is.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's the
It's a
really
weird- I've never heard
high-pitched
it
vocal
been
like that.
All right.
But it's way grimier. And it's just, I don't know, it's got definitely a psychedelic vibe to it that I like.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, Yob. Yob is the shit.
Yob, you'll like the new album that's heavy.
I've
It's
heard of
like
them.
death metal
Yeah.
heavy.
Oh,
Yob
yeah.
is
It's
like,
cool.
Yob
It's
has
really fucking
definitely
sick.
been the most consistent doom metal band in my opinion. I don't think they have a record that I don't like.
Hell yeah.
I didn't think initially that like they were doom off the top, like for some reason.
You
They
should
just
listen
have a
to some
different-
old shit. If you
old
listen to
stuff.
some old shit, you'll be like, oh,
Makes
there it
sense.
is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Alright.
Yeah, they've definitely, kind of wizarded the way around.
Where are they from? They're from
From Oregon. They're from Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah, so they live like right off the mountains and
Mm.
like in the Rockies, and they live out in the middle of nowhere basically, and they just grow up in mountain cities. So
Mhm.
like super influential to like how their music is played. It's very atmospheric and crazy.
Wonderful,
Makes
man.
you feel huge and wonderful. It's sick. Awesome stuff. Well, we're on psych music just for a second. Dead Meadow. If you
Dead
guys
Meadow's
have never
sweet.
heard of them,
Never heard of them. No.
they're not death metal. Way off topic from
Yeah.
death metal, but
Yeah, we definitely like a lot of Doom records. I really like Earthless. Earthless is cool.
yeah, that's sick.
And of course, I mean, we're always jamming the Sabbath records, you know.
Oh yeah, OG. You know it.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
Classics.
most definitely.
Yeah,
Sabbath is the Godfather.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, every stoner Doom band is just kind of stealing a little bit from them, but
Yeah.
it's still sweet.
It's all right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're gonna steal from the best, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, just like most any melodic metal bands and are stealing from Judas Priest in some
Mhm.
way too, you know.
Yeah.
Judas Priest and Iron Maiden definitely laid it the fuck down in that aspect.
Yeah. And they're still doing it.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
and they're still doing it great too.
Oh,
Judas Priest's last record was the best thing that they've done
Oh.
since those days. Since those,
Firepower was insane.
yeah,
I was surprised, but I liked it as much.
yeah,
as I
that's
did.
my favorite record since Painkiller.
Oh yeah. Oh
100%.
Yeah. Definitely.
And Iron Maiden's The Book of Souls was cool too.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that,
Most underrated. I mean, not that they're not known as very good, but I feel like they're not talked about at all.
Who's that?
I mean,
who?
The guitarist of Iron Maiden, all three of them.
Oh, all
Oh.
three of them,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, people don't really bring
Like
up.
when you're talking about guitarists, I mean, like maybe when you're talking about shredding bands like Iron Maiden, but when you're talking about guitarists, nobody wants to mention.
Yeah,
any
people
of
don't
them.
really bring up Dave Murray and Adrian Smith like that. Yannick is good too, but you know he's a little later. He didn't quite.
Yeah,
It's hard to
yeah.
compare him to the
Mhm.
dudes that did the Power
Did it.
Slave and
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
you
yeah.
know
I mean,
Peace of Mind,
without them, it wouldn't be like the double guitars
right?
we know of.
Mhm.
Really,
Yeah,
be-
them and the two Judas Priest guys, KK and Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dueling shred.
Yeah.
But yeah, that part
Classic.
is definitely important to metal.
That's
And-
probably a huge inspiration of how Recorruptor writes everything, because we've never wanted ever a lead guitarist. We just wanted two guitarists.
yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of bands that have a rhythm, and they'll totally. Don't get me wrong, like you'll make your tone really good, and I don't think Recorruptor has a bad tone by any means. But
Mm-mm.
they have more of a rhythm tone with one dude, and it's like maybe a little bit quieter, and like just kind of background makes it a lot fuller and cleaner sounding. But
Yeah.
I mean, Seth does that a lot. I mean, we do have like different tones to try to make it like that,
Yeah.
but like with volume level, especially live shows, we try to be as even as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially with the writing too, the way that all of Recorruptor's parts are written, I think it's kind of, we keep some mindset where there's very little things in which they the two guitars kind of weave out, but they're still connected, you know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Mhm.
And then it comes right back in together.
Hell
It's just kind of like plays with you a little bit, and just that way, you just add a little harmony to the melody right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's definitely a big part in Recorruptor's writing, is toying with the two guitars and how, we can bring back this thing, but maybe, Dustin can do this a little different this time
Hell
as
yeah.
compared to what Seth is doing the original, and it just,
Everything runs off each other.
Yeah.
Definitely like makes everything more original and creative, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah.
you
and
see that
keeps it interesting.
you'll see that in the new record a lot too.
Oh yeah,
Um,
heavily. There's
We
a
should
lot
probably talk about that. We've been
Oh,
here
that's-
forever, and we haven't really talked about that at all.
I was.
of,
I
keep it
was
on the down low.
Well, I watched that interview and you guys said there's no release date yet.
There is no release date yet.
What about could there be a single coming out anytime soon or something? Like
Probably not.
no,
We're in the
Can we?
because you are playing them two songs
You want
live.
to say something about where we're at?
Well, we're in the mastering stage right now.
Oh, fantastic! Nice.
I don't really want to disclose who's mastering it
Fair enough.
right now. But we definitely picked a good dude, that's for sure. And I think a lot of people know him.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, he's very
matters,
important to
really.
us.
That's exciting.
But he's been on tour,
Okay.
so we haven't had a chance to get that done for him or
Fair
done
enough.
with him.
Fair enough.
But it's completely mixed. It just needs the mastering. Really, the release date is gonna depend on what we decide to do for labels.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
we really want to. I mean, who knows? Maybe we won't end up going down that route. Whether it's willingly or not, because I know that there's definitely routes to take as an independent band nowadays. It's easier now than it ever has been to be a successful independent band.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that sucks though is that the real appeal with labels anymore is the fact that they're such advertisement machines.
Right.
I think that's very important metal because people, they pick up a record and they say, oh, this band's on this label.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This band, that label puts out a lot of great bands and whatever. I think that having that tag there is definitely important, but then you kind of start getting into some bigger labels that, like you said, money's not really there.
Right.
So they're gonna, there's got to be 10 other people that want to want to dip their straw in the drink so they can get a drink before you do.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta find something that's right for us to make sure that we are continuing to do this, so we don't get. We want to do it forever.
Yeah.
Hopefully, as long as possible, So we're not gonna. If there's any chances of where we might get screwed and we aren't able to do that for the next,
Yeah,
10
exactly.
years. We're not gonna try to do it.
That's
yeah,
right.
I think it being as we were younger.
Not that we want a 10-year contract.
No,
Don't think
don't
that.
read into that.
No, thank you.
But as we were younger, I think there was definitely, and I think a lot of musicians go through that thing where it's like, I just want to be in a signed band.
Yeah.
I want to be signed.
Yeah.
I want to be on the same
We
label
all
as my
did it.
heroes. That's
We
cool.
all did it.
Yeah. And we definitely did it, but then you kind of start to realize that label life isn't really what it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be cool to be in a successful signed band, but that's the thing is that, it takes a lot to be a successful signed band.
Yeah.
For every couple of bands that you see that are really successful on a label, there's 20 others that just got the same deal and fizzled out after one album.
Didn't happen.
It just didn't happen for them, so you got to be smart. I don't know.
And then there are those crazy situations like Amon and Marth where they didn't even their fourth album was gonna be their last, and then that fourth album caught, and so they kept going. And they were on the same label. I think they were on Metal Blade that whole time.
Yeah.
So
That was 10 years before they even took off like that.
Yeah.
So,
Rip.
They didn't even hit it until their fourth album.
I did. Sorry.
No, go.
I did have a writing question because I'm curious about something.
Yeah.
So first part of this is like who does majority. I may have asked you this before. I'm not sure, but I don't know.
I'm sure we have playing video games.
Who does the majority of the writing? I guess, and is it a goal to write like long songs?
It's
Or does it just
ghostwriting.
happen?
We buy all of our songs from somebody else.
Yeet. Everything is just switched around, all right?
Yeah.
So I guess first, I'll break it down to like early Recorruptor. Everything was basically done by me because I'm the only original member, so it's just how it was kind of is.
Yeah.
As long, like, I didn't write the bass, I didn't write the drums, I didn't do any of that. We just, here's the riff, do the thing. This new album, though, is way different.
Well, because, I'm sorry to kind of interject there, but yeah, because, like, Blood Moon, of the 8 songs, 5 of them are Dustin's.
Yeet.
And then with Sleep Eater Flesh, Eating Flesh, and Sun Drinks Blood of the Earth, those are actually my songs.
Yes.
With collaboration with the others, there's little fine-tuned points. But Seth wasn't in the band quick enough by the time we had written those songs.
Seth does have parts in a handful of, if not most of the songs that he put and wrote into the song. So there is still like writing creds for sure to him where he created riffs and put them in and did it. But we had a song and then it was like we have 2 guitars. So, you know, with the not having to play the same thing all the time.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
But no, you're fine. Yeah. Clint wrote some of it on Blood Moon. But on the new album, I only wrote a handful of songs on it, and then Seth wrote a handful, and then Clint wrote a handful, and then Clint and Seth also wrote a couple too. So it's all very like mixed, but basically it's not how we necessarily want to do it, but it's just how it's been. Is we basically write a song and we bring it to the table, and then maybe the next 2 minutes or the ending of the song, maybe someone will add something on the end of that, but the premise of the song usually is already made from the one person. But Clint does all the lyrical content for the most part. All of it now for sure. Mm-hmm. He does everything.
I've always welcomed the other guys to kind of pitch in a little bit.
We lame, we ain't smart.
No, really. But it was pretty widespread on the writing for this album. It wasn't so much of I think there's certain bands that kind of just get together and just hash out songs and whatever, and we kind of write songs and bring it forward.
We're not a jam band.
We're not really a jam band.
We like really tight, fast shit, so it's just like, this is what it is. Yeah. And then, don't get me wrong, we'll bring it to the table, and then maybe someone's like, we don't like this riff, or maybe we can add it, or maybe we can make it different, and then we will, and we'll hash it out and work with it a little bit. But 80 to 90% of the song usually is always the same, and is what is it.
Yeah.
Because while we're writing it, we'll also bring it to the guys and be like, check this out, this is what I got, and then we'll also hash it out before that comes. Kind of like, for example, Pantera, they didn't have bonus tracks. I think all the career that they had, they managed to siphon out Piss, the single. Yeah, I was about to say that, but that's it.
They always wrote, and
Great
they
song.
always kept. They didn't overwrite. They didn't have things that they took away. Mm-hmm. They always kept what they wrote. And for us, other than like very early Recorruptor songs that weren't a part of the full lineup, we've always kept every single thing. I don't think there's been a song that's been scrapped yet. I think Seth had like a 1.5-minute idea that we didn't use, but
there's been shit that's been scrapped, but it's, I don't know. Anything that was really scrap, I guess, was when I was really young. Writing shit, so I was like, it wasn't good, guys. It wasn't good.
I can think of, a number of songs off the top of my head that we used to play, or at least I used to play when I was in the band. Like, You Shall Dance. Nobody's heard that one in a long time.
That was great premise to a song.
And then
really cool. School's great, guys.
Yeah. And Time to Go to Hell. That had a couple different song titles because it was originally called Time to Go to Hell, and I was just like, it's kind of blunt. And it starts off the way you think. It just hangs out with an open chord, and the vocalist at the time would just...
That was me, dude.
Time to go to hell.
Oh, yeah. And then I would do, like, a Job for a Cowboy, like, really, like Desperado scream that they would do.
Yeah.
And then it would just,
I do remember
like Job
that.
for a Cowboy when I was younger.
We did it that one time, the one show, and then we didn't play it again. I was bummed because I just liked... It's just called Time to Go to Hell.
Yeah, it's a good title.
That was when I was writing shit, and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
It's a good title, though.
Some power behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only one that ever stayed from those real early days was Blood of the Decapitated, and even still, we don't play that live anymore.
No, that made it into an album, though.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that song when I was 14.
Nice.
We haven't played it since the album. Well, no, we did the
Josh is always trying to play. It's an easy song, man. You gotta play that.
No, you don't want to play it after the skate park.
Oh yeah, that's a shit show.
We went down to Kentucky and played at a skate park. That was dope. And
fun time.
we were just we were just looking for songs to play because we had like an hour to do.
I'm pretty sure. So on my tuner, you can make it go a half step up by pressing a button, or like a flat. Or it's like weird. It just comes up in a little flat piece. I'm not smart. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's pressed down 3 times. I didn't realize it. So I'm tuning to what normally it is, and I'm playing. I'm like, that sounds horrible, and that's not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like really high in steps. Why am I so high in steps? And and we started playing. And yeah,
it was awful.
It was horrible.
It
was not a
used
good
to
time.
like
That was probably the shittiest time I had, but it was like I didn't give a fuck because it was in front of all my vert friends, all the dudes I skate with. So I was like, I don't gotta prove nothing to y'all.
Yeah. Overall, we did
pressure.
fine at that show, but that one particular song was a little.
bad.
The vocal line used to be one way. It was written because Dustin wrote the lyrics a long time ago.
And then eventually we'll skip that.
we don't have to talk about that, but then I wrote lyrics. I did the lyrics I redid the song. And it's very noticeable. It's a very noticeable difference.
Okay.
So we started playing the song, and I started, because I hadn't played this song since the album released, and I started doing it the old way. and then, like, I kind of realized, I was like, shit, this isn't right. And I started going to the new way. And I'm just glad that nobody actually down there in Kentucky
We were in Kentucky,
knew.
so nobody cared. And then not only were we in Kentucky, we were at this vert ramp party. There's a whole bunch of these dudes that have different events that we all meet up at around like the Midwest in different states. So it was a whole bunch of dudes from around the whole country. They have no idea who we were. They were just like, oh, it's this kid's band. That's cool. Like, they have no idea who we are or what we do at all. Like, a lot of them like death metal, and they're like, yeah, we're opening up for Cannibal Corpse. And you're like, I don't think you guys are opening up for Cannibal Corpse.
That's funny.
Fuck you.
They definitely did.
There's such a comfort to, like, playing somewhere new and, like, not having anybody know your songs, and then, like being kind of worried about one of them and actually, like, having something go wrong and being like, yeah. Nobody knew nobody knows what's going on.
That's
it was a great time.
That's me all the time. I'm the vocalist. I can gurgle my way the fuck out of anything.
Right?
I was always jealous of that.
We played a show. I was way too drunk at the Avenue in Lansing, and we did a new song that night. I don't remember which one we did, but I totally didn't remember anything from the song, and on top of being like way drunk, I don't remember half that show. I've never been
when
like,
the lady Crystal almost beat up that lady.
No, that was the night that I
unnamed lady we won't mention,
right?
Which I don't actually know who it is.
No,
but
I don't either. No, that was the night somebody gave me the nipple tassels, and
the lady.
Oh, I remember that.
I had the nipple tassels on stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they were
was
little
a long
shiny,
time ago.
heart-shaped nipple tassels.
That's awesome.
Somebody wrote "Recorruptor for President" on my chest.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, I gurgled my way through that song, and I didn't actually say any words. It was great.
That's what I did with Revenant.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. There's a couple phrases. I was like, that sounds really evil. I'm gonna say that.
I was gonna ask you about that because I saw that picture. Couple pictures that you doing vocals for them.
Oh,
yeah,
for
I did
Revenant,
vocals
yeah.
for the Revenant, which is a local black metal band.
Oh, yeah.
How did that? What happened with that?
That
was
so I ran into Homeboy.
Kevin or
No, not Kevin.
Bob.
Just
Kevin, Bob,
no, not any of them. I always
Michael Holiday.
J-
Oh no, you told me Jerry Sherwood.
Jerry Sherwood. I always want to say Justin. I don't know why. His
'Cause
same
you're an
last name is
asshole.
my mom. Maiden name.
Yeah.
It's weird. We're
Oh,
related
Sherwoods.
somewhere. The Sherwoods. But no, I ran into him at like a Menards. I was getting wood for the vert ramp that we're building in our backyard. We're building like a 7.5 foot tall vert ramp. Pool coping. It's gonna be cool shit. But I ran into him and he's like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" Blah blah blah. And we just talked for a little bit and then we dipped. And then I saw on Facebook that they were playing a show and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I wasn't doing anything that night, so I just went out and watched their show or whatever. And it was a good old time. And they were like, "Fuck." And then I went to the show and I was like, their vocalist quit or whatever. I don't want to get in too much about that. It's not my place to get into. But vocalist is no longer the vocalist anymore. And I noticed and I was like, "Oh shit. Well, damn. If you guys want me to hop on one song, do a little diddle, I'll do it if you want." He's like, "Okay, yeah." I was like, "I'm not going to be able to know the lyrics or anything, but I know a lot of the vocal patterns and a lot of the shit. So, I mean, I'll do my best. I'll try to help out." He's like, "Oh, fuck yeah, dude." So, last song, I just hop up there and did it with him. And they liked it a lot. And they're like, "Hey, so we are also booked this show. And you want to play the show with us?" So, I did. I think I just played 2 or like 3 songs with them or whatever.
Damn.
I didn't do the whole show. I think they played 2 songs, and then I did 2 songs with them. But yeah, it was a good time. It was sick. It was we opened up for
Warforged.
yeah, that was sick.
Cool.
Technical Death Mode.
They're good. Yeah, they're good.
Damn.
That's why I was stoked. They were asking me to open for that. I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude, I guess." I mean, dude, that's no excuse not to. Shit. It's a sick ass show. So yeah, I got to see a whole bunch of sick ass bands. Who else played that night? Throne.
No.
Throne's good.
Yeah.
Boreworm.
Throne and Boreworm. Yes, Nathan, dude, that was so cool to see him back.
Sick. Yeah.
Ripping it up. And then Dagan, yeah. Dagan
Damn.
was sick. I actually wasn't inside for Dagan. I've seen Dagan a lot, so I wasn't
Yeah.
I was chilling out. And they were playing, I'm pretty sure. I was just trying to chill.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
Long time. Recorruptor and them are supposed to, well, we did play it, but it took like a year and a half of booking and rebooking because they were trying to make their comeback show or something like that, and just shit kept on happening. That
They were
was
gonna
just
do a comeback show, and then Randy came down with some kind of throat illness. I don't really remember what it was, but
it's not good.
he didn't. Yeah, they didn't end up. Man, I've got the hiccups now. It's horrid.
Yes. It's on record forever that you've had the hiccups.
I'm dying.
You should drink some more tea.
We should probably we bunny trailed so hard off of the new album.
Oh, back to the new one.
Yeah, what else did you guys want to talk about that?
Well, I was gonna ask, like, are there any like older songs on it that like you like rewrote for this one or for like Blood Moon?
No.
Or is it all like newer stuff?
That it's been talked about a little bit, and I think if we ever do that, we will probably I wouldn't necessarily call it like a best of, but just make like a remaster album, but basically take shit that we would want and put it in it.
We
not really talked about it heavily. Initially, the main idea.
We initially talked about taking the suffocation route, the breeding the spawn route. So, if you don't really know what that's about, they put out Effigy the Forgotten, and that really put them out there. Well, Human Waste really put them out there, but Effigy really put them out there, and they did that second record, Breeding the Spawn, and it's absolutely fantastic songwriting, very brutal. But the production is so bad that it makes it hard to listen to. Mm-hmm. That's why nobody really talks about it in the same sense as Pierced from Within or Effigy of the Forgotten, because it has such bad production. And, yeah. So what they did was, starting with Pierced from Within and every single record afterwards, they re-recorded one song from Breeding the Spawn.
Oh.
And just put it on the record.
Oh, that's cool.
They didn't even say like Breeding the Spawn re-recording or whatever, like in parentheses or anything. They just put it on the record. And it does that with every single album.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we talked about like because Blood Moon is the way it is. It's it's a good starting record, but there's a lot of issues with it. There's definitely a lot of sonic issues with it, and I mean, you listen to it and it's like one song there's really loud bass, and then the next song it's like there almost isn't bass. And it's I don't really know what happened. It's in the past. We don't really have hard feelings about it, but we've talked about doing that method where we just take one song, or maybe we just take a couple of we just take some of our favorite songs and we just do an EP worth of re-recordings, cuz to be honest, I couldn't care less if we did Blood of the Decapitated again.
No.
I don't think anybody's really begging for Blood of the Decapitated again.
I'm not.
But like I think it would definitely be interesting to see like Dark Behemoth Rising. I think that song would definitely be interesting to see with a really a really quality production.
Oh yeah, the weird tuning for sure.
And especially to hear that midsection brought out like that. And yeah, I mean, there's definitely a few songs, Blood
song.
Moon, and I think Sun Drinks the Blood of the
That'd
Earth
be
would
super
definitely
cool.
be cool to see brought back like that. Because there's a lot of two guitar stuff going on in that song.
A shit ton.
Actually, it's there's very little where the guitars are doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very solid rhythm part, and there's a very solid lead, like a very solid melody. So it'd be cool to see a song like that brought back with better production. We've talked about it, but at this point in time, we're so focused on this new record where it's not really something that's
fair enough.
Hot.
To me, I kind of feel like it's the same kind of situation that we were in, that you guys are kind of in, because we went into it trying to do like the first like big full length and stuff, and there was a lot of different things that like we didn't know, like that we know now about it, that we would have done differently, and I feel like that's a lot of kind of what happened with it,
Yeah.
There's just certain things that like you hear where you're like, I wish I would have like done this a little differently, or had,
I know I definitely wouldn't have done all my vocals in one fucking
It's a
day.
learning process.
Yeah.
I got sick in one of the days, and we ended up, because we did it on timed schedule, and I ended up having to do 7 of the songs in one day.
Jesus.
Damn.
Now, if you don't really understand, if you don't really get all that, that's like, I don't know, for this record,
Too much, yeah.
for this record, I stuck to doing 3 songs a day.
Yeah.
And that's still kind of pushing it. You should probably do about 2 to 3.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So I did 7
A lot of
songs in
people
one
don't
day,
even
and
do that.
yeah, that's definitely. I'm surprised that it. Honestly, I'm surprised the vocals turned out as well as it did for doing 7 songs in a day.
Josh did all the drums in 1 or 2 days.
Yeah,
1 day?
he set up the first day as we were kind of doing preface for what was going to happen in the studio, and then the next day he kicked it all out.
Wow.
Damn.
But I mean, with the new record, he did the same exact thing.
No, that's what I was meaning with the new record.
Oh, yeah,
He
both
did it.
times and we didn't even because with the writing process of this one, Seth has gotten so much better at using Reaper, and so we kind of like tracked our stuff that way.
Okay.
Did demos. So, really a lot of these songs we haven't even played as a band.
Wow.
And still have not played as a band. The title track we've never once performed as a band in practice.
Title track?
Yes.
Does that mean there's a name?
There's a name, yes.
Oh.
Wow, he's leaking that there's a name
Interesting.
about the album. Whoa.
There is a name.
Whoa. You better.
It's self-titled, isn't it?
It exists.
It's self-titled.
It's Recorruptor with the song Recorruptor by Recorruptor.
There we go.
It's like Black
It's
Sabbath
4
by
minutes and
Black
20
Sabbath
seconds
on
long.
Black Sabbath. Yeah, no.
Or it's 6 minutes and 66 seconds long.
Yeah, it does have a title. I probably shouldn't say it.
Don't,
I
you
don't
know,
think
if
we'll
you don't want
say
to, you
it,
don't have
yeah.
to. Definitely, no pressure. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Let that be
So
announced the way you
mysterious.
want it to be
Yeah.
announced. Yeah, absolutely. But
It's called Fart School.
fart school.
Who,
That's the name of it.
It's,
do you
Hot
guys
take.
have artwork for it? Yeah.
yes, we actually have 2 pieces of artwork, and we don't know which one we're gonna use.
Are
You should.
both the same artist?
Yes, actually,
yeah.
the entire because we already have a bunch of the art laid out for the booklet too, and everything that's gonna be in the CD is done by the same artist.
Is it the same artist as the first one?
No.
Would you say who it is or no?
It's
That's fine.
I don't even know if anybody would know who it is. I've never seen anybody because most people around here they're always buying from. Because you guys did the artwork through Caesar, Adrian, who did Infinite Annihilator's second album, and that's who we did too. Because of that, and then a lot of people started buying stuff from him around the scene. And
we did the first 2 were through him, and then the other one was through Shaylin.
Yeah,
either
Shaylin
way,
Stokerman.
Yeah.
But yeah, people usually go through him and the other guy, Ali Metsurka. They've been doing, I don't know. A lot of people do the same guy, and I haven't noticed anybody go through this guy. But his name, he goes on Instagram by Amethyst. His actual name is, at least what it is on Facebook, is Joas Ismi Vatra.
Okay.
Yeah, he's yeah. But he's dope. He does a really interesting.
Always trying to get sneak peeks over there. Look at him.
Trying.
Looking. I don't mind really.
I'm looking.
Yeah, I mean,
to be honest,
nobody listening to this is gonna be able to see it, but I can show. But he did for our Battle Creek show. He did that artwork.
Oh, cool.
I was actually wondering if that was like part of it because I knew you guys were like I don't know if somebody posted it or whatever. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
I
that
posted a
artwork
little
stuff.
teaser of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bought that off of him, and he's done a lot of work for us. But he's really good. Instagram, he's up there. I wish I could find it's. I've had this artwork forever, so I don't even know if it's on here anymore.
I find it on my phone.
You guys ever had people like listen to your stuff and then like hit you up on like Instagram or wherever and be like, hey, look, I drew this for you, or like I had this.
I don't think we've had
We got
any.
the anime people. Somebody's made animes of all of us.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah.
sick. That was
That's awesome.
It was like Christmas time, and somebody drew us as anime characters in Christmas sweaters.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, it was dope. We posted it a couple of times to our Facebook, but yeah.
That's great.
Yep, the art is there. It's all good. Oh yeah, here's one of them.
I just love highlighting fucking album artwork artists because that's something that,
That's cool.
I feel like not a lot of people pick up hard copies anymore. That's
Right.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
And I love hard copy. Everything on a hard
That's the
copy. I
only
love
choice.
booklets. I love artwork on the cover and everything. You know what I mean? Like, love
More
that
aesthetic,
shit.
man. It's
Yeah,
nice.
like
Really nice.
fucking
I dig it a lot.
actually
too.
having it. You know what I mean? Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is fucking awesome.
It's a lot different from
Oh
the
yeah.
last one. I will
Yeah,
say
'cause
that.
Blood Moon, it's like,
extremely different.
Yeah, it's like I hate to be like this, but I think when it comes to like slam or slamming deathcore bands, I feel like everybody is going down the route of having a multicolored landscape
Graphic
where
design.
there's some kind of monster going. And that's kind of what's going on in Blood Moon too.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
some big caped monster, and there's a bunch of pretty colors on it.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of metal bands are doing that
That's
kind
true.
of thing.
Yeah, that's a good
So,
point actually.
I saw this guy and I got really excited because it's very detailed, but it's very simple.
Yeah.
At the same time, it kind of says a little bit more than just, oh, I'm a fucking monster, I'm gonna eat you
Yeah.
in HD.
Hell yeah.
You know.
Coming soon, Sunday.
That to me says more like it's a little more like traditional art style.
I think
Like-
that's why we wanted it to be that way, because the album in general is a little bit more dialed back in that sense. I think that there's definitely the most insane shit that we've done to date as far as the songwriting goes, but the other songs, there are other songs where it definitely kind of takes a step back. I mean, you saw the SummerSlam-a-thon. That second song we played, Souls of Limbo, definitely dials it back a little bit. We haven't done any like slow parts like that other than the ending of Sepulchre of Shadows, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just for like one part.
Right.
This is like a whole song, or most of a whole song, where it's, you know, it's dialed back like that. And we have moments like that on the record where, I don't know, I think we just experimented a lot with how quickly we were doing the writing of everything. It's pretty impressive how everything meshes together.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for it.
I cannot wait.
That was the one song that you guys played that I remember saying something to you about it. I was like, that, whatever the slow one was, like, that was sick.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It was really different to hear from you guys.
I think there's a lot of power behind putting something in the set like that. People really notice.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying that's our best song, obviously, but it's like, I definitely know that since we've started playing it, I think we played it at the aborted show that we did back in March. People notice. It's like, because you're just going a million miles an hour for a bit, and then
all of a sudden
it's like, oh shit, okay.
Hell yeah.
This is a little different. And there's a lot of moments like that on the record where it's kind of like, it's not just batshit crazy for the sake of being batshit crazy.
Right.
Not that Blood Moon was necessarily that way, but it certainly doesn't really take a step. It doesn't, I don't know, it's pretty fast the whole way through.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Even its slow parts are pretty fast. But this one, it definitely kind of gives you a moment to be like, okay, let's see what Recorruptor can do here.
All right.
See what Recorruptor can do there, especially with, I think the most dynamic song on the entire album is one that Dustin wrote. It's about, I think it's just barely under 7 minutes of... It's insane. Oh, man, it starts off so spooky.
Are you talking about the Rivers one or the Origin one?
The Rivers one.
Okay, yeah.
That song, it's like...
A lot of people have been digging that.
It starts off really spooky, and then, you know, kind of, takes you along. You don't really know where it's going to go. Goes batshit insane, and then it goes even more batshit insane later, and just... And then somewhere stuffed in the middle of all that, it's got a really nice thrash riff that's like, not like a Slayer thrash riff, but like it's just got the beat, just the fucking, you know what I mean? And I don't know, it's just, you listen to the other songs on Blood Moon, and it's kind of, you know, here's the idea. Right from the start, that's what it's going to be.
Okay.
This one, it's got a lot more twists and turns. We definitely took our time to make sure that it was...
I've been learning a lot of different music styles and stuff. It's been a lot of grind of like jazz and revocation and a lot of technical death metal bands that add evolution into, you know, metal.
We
progressive.
Yeah. Yeah, time definitely influenced this record, because by the time we went into the studio for Blood Moon, most of those songs were already years old.
Yeah.
Old. Like, we were old. I mean, as long as Recorruptor has been a thing, those are the songs that we were playing.
Yeah, the only, like, decently recent the only one that we had written while that lineup was present was Sepulchre of Shadows.
Okay.
All the rest were... already established.
Maybe Behemoth. I maybe had Behemoth like set out, but we didn't. I don't think we actually finished it until we were all a group.
Oh yeah.
I was saying,
well, minus like, Alex, but
well, yeah, not Alex. Sorry, but yeah, the core.
But yeah,
yeah. Because I was gonna say, I remember there was a lot of time where like earlier shows and stuff, and we played quite a few of them. It seems like, but
yeah,
like. I'd always be like surprised whenever you guys didn't have like CDs and stuff, because I always felt like you had at least like something out at the time.
Everybody said that.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, like full length. I was like, oh, sick. All right.
We were a lot more focused on playing live shows.
That's
like getting out there and just doing shit. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd been a lot easier to get on shit and do shit with shit to show for, but yeah, we didn't have really the technology, basically.
Yeah, we didn't really have any kind of in on getting anything proper out there.
No.
Another thing is when we wanted to put something out there, we wanted it to be good. Granted.
Yeah, granted that. TJ's looking at you, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I looked at him before he even looked at me, because I already made the mistake.
Fuck off, we're doing it.
Grammar Nazi from the corner. Coming in hot.
But yeah, I mean, I finished your sentence there. Granted, that blood moon didn't exactly. I said it. I said it. I don't say granted. I say granted. Fuck off, white boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, he said granted.
So, but yeah, granted that blood moon didn't really come out the greatest, but
I mean,
it
was still enough to where we could be like, okay, here's us.
Yeah, no, I don't. It was definitely it wasn't like for what if you listen to one song, it's like, yeah, this is pretty decent. This isn't bad at all. But I mean, for the fact of listening to the whole album, yeah, it's a different story. But yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound like a demo in someone's basement. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but we definitely, heard a lot of why don't you guys have a new album, back in the day, and a lot of that was just because of the fact that we didn't have a stable lineup, and a lot of it was because we didn't have the resources. I know that the first time we actually ever put out anything was when we did the Goat Horror Show.
I remember that.
My 21st birthday.
Yep.
Oh,
I was there.
Good old times.
But we did a demo called Some Shit by Recorruptor, and it had 5 of the songs. Well, no, at that point it was just 2. It was an intro, it was hallucinogenic, and it was alien. And then later we expanded it to 5 songs that included Sun and Behemoth and Decapitated, I think.
It's cool though, because kind of knowing that, I'm pretty interested in hearing, like, because with the first one being the way that it was, like, it always, it's cool to see like the progression of bands and stuff. To me. And like I feel like this one is gonna be, from what you've been saying, like it's gonna be like a big like step up from where it was at.
Yeah, I mean, we feel like it too, and we're still not done. I think I definitely would like to explore writing as a full band, instead of just swinging ideas,
bringing songs in, yeah.
By I think
That'd be cool.
I mean, even still doing it the way that we did it, it's incredible how cohesive the album sounds.
Yeah.
But like we've got a lot of similar ideals, but we also have a lot of important ideals that not everybody does share, which is not a bad thing. I actually think it should be encouraged that we get together and share some of that stuff, because I don't know, I just want to see what it would happen if we all really intently sat down and wrote as a band. I think it could come up with something really interesting.
There's a certain vibe that you get when you do that, when it's like everybody in the same kind of space, and then just like putting all their ideas into one song or like one specific idea, and then just kind of taking off from that. Like, it's because a lot of time, like, it's like we've done that before in the sense of like jamming and stuff, but we never actually like put it on record or like even like recorded ideas and stuff. But it always sounds way different than what we normally write.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of interesting. Like, it's like, oh well, would we have thought of this if we wouldn't have all been in this same space, or would it have just kind of been like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I will say Recorruptor is the only band that I've ever listened to be able to like jam. speed metal,
Yeah.
crazy shit, like off like nobody knows what the hell is going on. One person just kind of starts, and then Josh starts playing the drums, and everyone's like, all right, that's the melody. And then we'll start doing shit, just fucking around, like just warming up or whatever before practice.
Yeah, sometimes some
sick shit like shit that I'm like, this blows all of our shit out of the water. Why aren't we playing this right here? And then it's never heard ever again. It's the crazy shit.
We don't ever keep it.
Always get those little things where you're like, like jamming before you like practice a set or whatever, and it's like you have this like big thing that you just did for like the last 2 minutes, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, well, let's play this 4-year-old song. Like,
yeah.
Just record or live stream everything. Right there.
No, you're right, man.
Keep it that way. It's somewhere. You know what I mean? You can go back to it.
Right.
Also, technology.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you just get like a good recorder or a phone and record it yourself. You know what I mean? For yourself.
Right.
Good idea, even.
Yeah.
Just hang one lone mic up in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Off of the rafter.
So is there
That's how Mayhem did it.
Yeah.
anything else that you want to talk about the new album?
As far as the new album goes?
Yeah.
I know that we're teasing everybody with it an awful lot, but please be patient.
Real tingly dick
yeah.
I'm not gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it. Could you expect it by the end of the year?
I think if we don't go down the route of a label, I think that it's pretty reasonable to expect it by the end of the year.
I was gonna say, I hope I hope that.
I mean, everything's up in the air if that shit happens, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I just want to make sure that we can push it to its furthest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that I think that where a lot of people fall flat, a lot of bands fall flat, is the fact that they write an album and it can be absolutely amazing, but they don't know how to push it properly.
Right.
I think that we got to have the right tools set up in order to be able to send this music to its fullest extent. And if that means that we got to release it next year, then that's what we'll do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll send the kid out on the side of the street and pay him $5 a day to go sell our record, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Have the street team going.
Other than that, it's just something we're excited about. I'm excited to try the fact that this is a whole concept record.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to mention that you probably should talk about the what the lyrical content. I mean, not in any detail, but about
go in a little bit of detail, I
general
guess.
Themes.
But yeah, it's not even thematic. It's a straight story.
Oh wow, okay.
Every single of the 10 songs it's 10 songs.
Okay.
Just under an hour of music.
Oh wow.
So there's some
quite a bit longer than the last one then.
Yeah, it's got to beat by about 10 or 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's all from track 1 to track 10. It tells the same exact story. It's like chapters of a book is how I like to say it.
Oh yeah.
But there are themes embedded in it too. While it tells the whole story, I kind of wanted to paint some pictures, alongside of it that kind of stem off of what the story's going on about. I kind of wanted to talk about the acceptance of loss.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that theme in there. 'Cause that's really important to me. In my life, I haven't really dealt with loss like that.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the only really significant person that I've lost in my life is my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened when I was quite, really into my formative years, I guess. I was about 14 at the time. And that wasn't an easy one at all. And I think I've always been kind of, up until recently, always been afraid of loss because I didn't want to feel like that again.
Yeah.
But you kind of learn as life goes on that it's almost selfish to hold on to somebody like that. And you really see that in this album. I like to feel, at least it does for me. I
Mhm.
see it a lot in the lyrical content, but it's really selfish to hold on to somebody that and not let them go necessarily. Hold on to those negative feelings like that. I think there is definitely there's a proper process to accepting loss that a lot of people don't know about, and it can really fuck you up if you don't let it go.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
tough. So it deals with the loss. And yeah, I kind of tell that story through some biblical terminology and some biblical themes, even though it is not a religious record. Obviously, I
Mhm.
don't think anybody in the band has ever been or is religious of any sort.
Mhm.
Well,
I used to be, but I mean, growing up as a kid,
Mhm.
so I learned a lot from that.
isn't Josh a Satanist? I mean, not.
Oh, like
Not-
a legitimate. I don't know.
I don't even know. Like,
I don't know.
even
He's
like
never
that.
talked about it.
No, he's always been real chill.
I don't know. He just talks about. He just
Evil
talks
is
about
horny
how
and
much he
horny
loves-
is good.
talks about how
And
much he
that's how
loves
I like it, so
immolation and
that's how it should.
yeah, it just has us all confused because he keeps quoting immolation lyrics all the time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
That's
no, I'm
cool.
really excited. I'm really curious to see what people have to say about the lyrical content.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they pick up on it, because it's kind of like, I almost want it to be like, have you guys watch Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
Is that a
Yeah.
familiar
When I was
one?
a kid, yeah.
And they do the segment, Let's Make a Date, and they have to act out a certain person or an idea of a person,
Mhm.
and then the host has to guess what they were trying to be.
Okay.
All right, so
Like,
we're going to
ding,
do it
ding,
right now. Are
ding.
you guys ready?
That's kind of what I'm going for. I just, I'm kind of like portraying this thing, and I'm hoping that people will get it.
Okay.
If they don't, I'm still interested to see what people's takes on it are.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I'm afraid of is everybody just says, I don't get this at all. But I don't know.
Well, then it's just not meant for them then.
Right, exactly. Fucking posers. We'll stick with our 12 fans.
I think it's cool to hear that, because a lot of, like for me at least personally, I always get into things a little bit more when I can like pull something from it for my personal life, and I feel like that's music in general, but like, I don't know, just to kind of hear that you're kind of going that route with it is cool. I think it's something different.
And I think more so importantly with the lyrical content is that I don't care what anybody says. I love a song that just talks about killing people.
Oh yeah.
I hate how bad that sounds, but
Beautiful,
man,
gory imagery.
I just love a good
Sometimes.
killing.
yeah, I just love a song
Yeah.
that talks about blood and gore
Yeah.
and whatever. It's just, I like it. It's primal to me, and I like that primal side. And I definitely did that with Blood Moon. Every single song on Blood Moon, it talks about dying in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah.
Just different ways of dying. So it was cool that when I did this album, and it's a little bit more intricate with its, concept and its theme, that I still managed a way to keep the gore
Keep
in
the
it
gore,
a
yeah.
little bit.
Oh,
It's
Fuck
not
yeah.
it's not as blatant, but it's definitely grim and dark. I'm excited. That's all
Well,
I've got to say about it.
there can be songs about murder that are relatable.
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
yeah.
As long as you enjoy it,
Kill or
Right.
become.
Yes, Killer Become.
Fire up the chainsaw. God.
That's a great
Cut
song.
their,
Oh.
cut their
One of
fucking
my
heads
favorite-
off.
one of
Oh.
my favorites, man.
So good. So
Yeah.
is there anything you wanted to add about that album or anything?
Stoked for it. I mean, that's it, really, man.
Oh, we all are.
Yeah.
We all are unbelievably excited.
Just sitting on it, caressing it.
Slowly caressing.
There's a lot of like weird, different progression and solos and stuff, along with Seth's too.
Yeah, Seth really showed up to play.
There's one song in
yeah.
particular that made me shit my pants, and I thought it was me at first because I didn't believe it was Seth. Yeah. It was just like, Seth did this?
Yeah.
This is really melodic.
That kind of
awesome.
It reminds me, not to offshoot a little bit, but we were listening to him to take notes for the mixes. If we heard any, little flub or anything or whatever, Dustin and I were sitting together. It's just so funny to me. Because I mentioned earlier how Dustin did a vocal part in one of the songs.
Yeah.
So we're listening to it, and it gets to this part, and Dustin looks at me, and he's like, Clint, man, I gotta say, it really blows my mind how you can contort your voice in so many different ways and do all this crazy shit with it. And I was just like, oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Whatever. He's like, yeah, man, it's just so guttural. And it kind of was quiet for a second. And I thought to myself, and I was like, were you just talking about that last part? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that was you, fucker. That was you.
I totally didn't know. That was not a purpose asshole move.
He was just like, he was just like, oh, I forgot I did that. And I was like, well, do you mean what you said to me then? Or?
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
Funny.
It was fun.
It was just weird. That was probably why I said it. I was just like, I've never heard you like this because it wasn't you.
Mm-hmm.
That would be why.
I had a question for you guys, though,
Yeah.
actually. As far as the Blood Moon songs go, we're going to start weeding out some of these songs, obviously in the live set,
Okay.
to make room for the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What songs would you guys want to keep on the set?
Well, what do you have in regular rotation right now?
Well, as of now, the only 2 new songs we're playing are
And then everything else is Blood Moon.
Yep.
So how long are the sets normally? How many songs?
30 to 45, so you're talking anywhere from 5 to 7 or 8 songs.
Okay. So in regular
Roughly.
rotation, you got anywhere from 3 to 5 Blood Moon songs?
Yeah, we
Okay.
usually stay pretty confident with Hallucinogenic and Flesh Eating Flesh are the 2 that we usually.
I love Flesh Eating Flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I would say hallucinogenic.
Yeah.
That one's sick.
Yeah.
Like that one a lot.
But other than that, I mean, we haven't been doing Sepulchre of Shadows the last couple of shows, but that one's generally in there. I love playing that one.
You guys have like a staple that you end with every time? Like,
no, we like to change it up.
Change it up.
We do like to change it up, but we did do Behemoth for a while.
Behemoth was generally the one, yeah.
I think that was the one I saw probably the most. You guys closed with. That was sick.
Yeah.
It's a really good. You slam you when it's close.
Yeah.
It's really good, and then it has a little light part, so it's just weird.
Yeah. We were gonna do the it's usually either Behemoth or Hallucinogenic is the ones we close up with. We like to play Sun. Sun's a great song, but it's fucking 8 minutes long.
That's probably a good one to cut, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially make
But
way
we
for
love
something
it
new.
so much. That's my baby. That's the
enough.
one that I
It's
love.
a really good song.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's 8
yeah.
minutes long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
There's a reason why we don't want to play at a lot of shows.
Right. But who knows, though, because a lot of the new songs are long, too. So
Yeah. Fair enough.
maybe it'll find a home in the set that way.
I feel like that would be more or less a song we like to break out every once in a while
Yeah.
for all the
Big like
homies.
headliner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Do you set
that,
out?
yeah.
Do you set out to make songs that long, or does it just happen?
It just happens.
Real.
I think certain songs we know are already going to be long just by the way that
It's not set out to be like that at all.
Because I knew that your song there, the Rivers one, was going to be long. I knew that one was going to be long.
Yeah.
And I knew that the one that I did with the dad rock riff in it was going to be long.
We really like to ride a melody and then make a lot of riffs out of it and then put all the riffs in it.
Yeah.
And then we're like slap technical on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for being as long as they are, that's still very structured. It's not. There's very rarely a song that we do on the new record where something doesn't kind of pop back up.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I think there's really only I think only one song really kind of is a flurry of riffs.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, there's a lot of structure to the songs that we quite didn't have before.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think hallucinogenic will probably be a general. I mean, everybody always talks about hallucinogenic being one of their favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And Flesh Eating Flesh is usually a great crowd opener.
You guys ever do Sleep Eater with anybody else? Or is it just like a one-time
We did
thing?
once.
Wait, did we?
Yep.
We did.
Yeah.
Damn it, I really wanted to be like, no, we didn't. There's no way. That's Alex's shit. God damn it.
Yeah. Nope. I popped Colton Head from Forces up on stage to do the Sleep Eater thing.
That was all Clint, Alex. That was none of us. We didn't have any word in it.
Oh, no. I told him. I was like, I want to see what you do with it. I don't care. I mean, I would hope Alex wouldn't take any offense to that.
I don't think he would. I'm just playing.
But, yeah, no, he popped up for it, and he did a good job. I don't think he was ready for it, though. I don't know. But it was cool. It was interesting to see him do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I guess I got a couple. I mean, I've had you guys for quite a long time at this point, so I guess
That's
I got.
all right, dog.
That's all good.
Hell yeah.
I'm chilling, man.
I'm glad.
It's all good.
What in terms? Okay, first in terms of playing shows, what's like the best / like crazy experience you've had yet?
Oh man, okay. Interesting show moment. Well, the one that usually pops up when we get asked this question is the very first show we did with Ovid's Withering. And my first show with the band. But Dustin Dustin mentioned his Crohn's disease earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That particular day.
Big Mac and like a McChicken and some fries and a large pop.
Yeah. But you had also just gone and done your infusions.
And yeah, I didn't eat all day and I need to eat something, so that's what I ate.
So the thing is that the melatonin that's all in that, you normally make you sleep, but he was fighting it off because he had the show.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep time and like, I was like not necessarily delusional, but I was like, I was not okay. But yeah, live shows, Dusty's live shows, so I performed and ripped it up, and then after like the second song or something, I puked.
On stage.
Right on stage. But
this is at Uli's, so there was nowhere to go.
Yeah. Well, I knew if I was gonna puke, I wasn't just gonna make it a bitch thing. Like I just puked all over my guitar and like made it like a part of the show,
like
type
a metal
of thing.
Yeah.
Like I remember because we were gonna play Alien. I was like, yeah, this one's called Alien, and back then, Dustin started it off. There wasn't drums in the beginning.
Okay.
So I looked over at Dustin, and here he is just hurling all over his guitar.
Oh my god!
And gnarly. A lot of people
it was getting all over.
Most people didn't even know it was they thought it was part of the show. Like I said.
Yeah.
Well, I know that fucking Brian Roroff from Betray the Prophet didn't. And he knew it was real.
Oh, I'm sure he
because
did.
he got it on his shoes.
Well, I mean, yeah, it definitely wasn't fake. I just meant like,
right.
Some
you're trying to play. You're playing it off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I was.
But
most people wouldn't just puke on their guitar. Right? I would hope.
Right. But yeah, no. For quite a while after that, we would have some people come up to us and it's like, "Oh yeah, you're the puke guy.
Yep.
You're the guy who puked on stage."
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was our claim to fame for a little bit.
Owned it.
Hell yeah.
It was sick.
Yep.
People were down with it. They're like, that guy's hardcore.
Yep.
He's from New York.
Yeah.
But we've definitely had some notable shows, some exciting ones, some not so exciting ones. I know my personal favorite is either the Cannibal Show or it's probably a toss-up. It's either the Cannibal Show or the Aborted Show, because we played at the Aborted Show, and that one was really unique because you never really, when we're playing, and especially when we were opening up for a bigger band.
Mhm.
A lot of the big bands don't really come out and watch like that. They're they're off doing their thing,
Mhm.
and that's, I mean, when you're touring everywhere like that, that's completely understandable. We played the Aborted show, and we were the only local, and we played, and every single band was either on the side of the stage or you could see them in the back next to their merch, just like, the
Digging
fuck
it.
is going on
They're
up there?
down.
Hell yeah.
Which is really surprising because for all of the lineups that we played, that was easily the most technical death grind.
Wow.
It was the Blast Beat Slamathon or something like that.
Yeah.
It was
Alright.
like specifically.
Well, I mean, Hideous Divinity, Benighted, and Cryptopsy, and
Okay.
Aborted. It's
Wow.
just
Oh,
blast
dude.
beats everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
And of course,
yeah.
Josh himself is a fucking blast beat
Blast
king.
Beat
So,
King.
Hell yeah.
OG.
but yeah, so it was really interesting to see all those people kind of come out of the woodworks and be like, "Fuck."
That's awesome.
And they reciprocated the love just the same when we talked to them in person afterwards too.
Good.
That's
good
awesome.
dudes.
Like
It was a good time.
Sven and Julian, both the vocalists for Benighted and Aborted, they had nothing but good things to say. And Alex said that he got to talk to the dude from Hideous Divinity quite a bit, who is also one of the guys from Our Penance.
Okay.
So, yeah, we definitely got. Whereas, like with Cannibal Corpse, we got the fan love super hard. At
Mhm.
Aborted, we got the band love
That's
super
awesome.
hard.
That's awesome.
But other than that,
Brian from Black Dahlia.
yeah, Brian from Black Dahlia Murder
Homies
was
were
there.
and the Battlecross homies were there.
Yeah.
It was a good night, dude. It
Yep.
was sick. But yeah, Brian was like basically housing Aborted and was like showing him what's up in Detroit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was sick. That
Yep.
was a good time.
But the third one is always going to be that Goat Horse show for my 21st birthday.
Hell, fuck.
Yeah.
I still have not been that drunk since then. Yeah,
Clint
we
got me a
played. It was
pic.
sold out. Yep.
Clint got me a
Gee,
pic from
that's awesome.
Sammy.
I remember that.
I really like
Yeah,
Acid
that-
Bath.
Yeah, we're
lot
all
more than
every one
Goat
of us
Horror.
are really big Acid Bath fans.
Hell yeah.
And Goat Horror's dope. It's just, to us, Acid Bath is like another echelon of legend.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Their two records are perfect.
I
man.
played that pic live straight for like
Oh.
2 years straight.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Still have it. You don't even see Goat Horror. It's just a black pic now. It's just
Yeah.
I remember being like kind of on the outside because you guys were like coming in or whatever from the balcony that was there from the inside, and like all I remember is you hearing, "I got a pic from Sammy" or something like that. It's
Yeah.
like, hell yeah!
Yeah, it was
So
sweet.
psyched about it.
He
I
was super cool, man. We did that show, and he partied the whole night. Cause I mean,
he
we
likes a white Caucasian
yeah,
horse.
yeah, yeah. He was cause we did a pretty
Skank,
good job
white
advertising
Caucasian
it as my 21st birthday. So that show sold out.
Hell yeah.
Like, it was sweet. We sold so many tickets for that
That's
show.
awesome.
And yeah, they knew it was my birthday. The Goat Horror guys did. They'd heard it all over. And they when they were playing, my drunk ass was outside apparently. I don't really know why, but I had just walked in, and all of a sudden they were shouting about, "Oh, birthday boy's probably outside fucking somebody in the car." Probably getting laid and whatever, and I was like, "No, I'm right here." And they got me up there, and they played "Fucked by Satan."
Oh
and,
my god.
had me going around. He was like, "Yeah," he was something like, "Yeah, you're just 21, aren't you?" He said, "Well, you're gonna find out that in life you're gonna get fucked by Satan," or something like that. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Played the song, and I was fucking popping around the mosh pit all over.
That's insane.
We ended up partying like a shit ton afterwards.
Oh.
Sammy was buying me Jack and Cokes all night.
Holy shit.
Oh, man,
Until,
that
like,
was a long night. I had
dude,
to babysit Clint a long time.
We were there until like 3 in the morning.
It took me about an hour and a half to get you out of the bar, dude. I was
yeah.
like 15, 16, like, let's go.
Yeah.
I got to drive home,
Yeah.
my dude.
No, dude, there was no way you were pulling me away from that on my 21st
That's
birthday.
crazy.
I mean,
And
yeah, I let you lived it up for a
It
long
was
time.
crazy, dude.
Don't get me wrong.
Somebody brought out a bow and arrow.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there was a bow and arrow in Mac's bar, and the go guys were shooting it. I knew not to touch that. I knew I wasn't in any capability to touch a bow and arrow.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
But they were shooting at Mac's bar. That was crazy.
That's fucking
I've never
insane.
partied so hard,
That
and
is
that is
insane.
definitely my favorite.
Oh,
Taco Bell that night was... Actually, I don't know if we got Taco Bell. It might have been close.
Did you ever make it to Taco Bell?
I don't remember Taco Bell.
I think he actually crashed. I might have been
I know I
crashing at
crashed.
TJ's house over there.
I think
I think we did.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
You were out. The dude? Oh, that was a weird night.
What dude?
Let's not talk about that. I mean, it was fun.
What dude?
The dude. It was a
Oh,
long
the dude
night.
freak.
Everyone was up, actually.
Yeah, dude freak.
When we
did
got home.
definitely.
Everyone was... Yep. Everyone was all up partying. They were having a good old time. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. Wow.
You
Yeah,
ever heard of the
absolutely
No?
great
You'll
show.
know.
hell yeah.
Worst show. I don't know if we really have any like worst shows.
I
I
was just
can't
asking about like
recruit.
craziest
Yeah.
experience. What
Yeah.
about got any more, Dustin?
Like best shows?
Or, yeah, they're just craziest experience
crazy.
on stage, or because you fucking run around the mosh pit sometimes and shit while you're playing.
Oh, yeah, I do. So, like,
I've seen you
Dillinger was...
start pits before.
yeah.
Oh, I've started many pits for sure. Started a lot of big pits. Sick. Cool shit. Gnarly as shit, man. Trying to think. I try to put on a good show every show. I mean, I know probably recently I haven't.
Or just
Come up
anything crazy
the-
that's happened while you've been playing. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything really has happened that's been crazy while we were playing.
I've had a lot of crazy
Besides-
shit happen while I've been at shows and shit, but like while
Yeah.
we've been playing,
Yeah.
I probably don't even notice it or anything like that.
Well, that's kind of.
We've set up like Wall of Deaths at a whole bunch
Oh,
of shows,
hell
and
yeah.
that shit's
Yeah.
Hell
super
yeah.
cool. That shit's fucking awesome.
It's always fun.
Think, goddamn, I can't think of anything right now, man. To be
Huh,
honest.
no worries. I mean, that
Oh, it's all good.
something you said led me into the next thing is what like as fans going to concerts. Like I assume you've probably been going to concerts your whole life and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
What's the best show you've ever seen? Your favorite?
That's a hard one. Dead Meadow for me was really cool.
Yeah.
Dead Meadow was probably really up there. It's not really death metal.
Where'd you see them
it's
at?
all- Pyramid Scheme.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
It was Grand Rapids. Dude,
Yeah.
that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Such
that
a
was good
difficult
time.
one. I saw Cannibal Corpse at the Pyramid Scheme with Cattle
Oh.
Decapitation and Surreption.
Fuck.
Some band like that with a 400 cap room.
Yeah.
Dude, that was nuts.
That would have been chaos.
No, that was one of the very few shows where I was very scared to get in the pit.
I believe
Um,
that. I believe that.
I think the coolest in general is either
Oh, when I saw Paul Bear, that was
Yeah.
pretty amazing. That
Paul
was-
Bear was direct support for
Skelt-
Obituary.
and then Skeleton
wow.
Witch also
Yeah.
played, and that was so sick.
Mhm.
Dude.
That was
Skeleton Witch
recent,
was-
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Less than a year ago.
Who else played that? There's some
Uh,
thrash
the-
band. They were actually pretty good.
Dust Bolt.
Yeah.
They were not that bad. I mean,
Yeah, they were cool.
they were
Yeah,
sick.
you know.
I mean, they were just thrash metal. I mean, yeah. What do you expect?
Yeah,
To be honest.
my favorite shows. I don't know if I really have a favorite show. To
What
be
was-
honest,
what was
it's
the
hard.
What was the first show?
My first show ever. Well, technically, by all technicalities, my first show ever was Skillet at some Christian festival in Kings Island.
Let's go.
Kings
Christian
Island.
Festival first
Shit.
show.
Yeah.
Living that small town life with parents.
Right.
Small town folks.
But the first show I really willingly wanted to go to.
That don't count. That don't count, Lauren.
Right. No, my first real legit show was Megadeth at the Orbit Room with Machine Head. And Machine Head was on the Blackening run.
Ooh.
So they were in their prime for sure.
Who else was there?
Suicide Silence was there. Suicide Silence was there, and this is going to piss a lot of people off, but they were ass.
Really?
Dude,
I
Mitch
can't-
Lucker live was... I don't care what anybody says, dude. Mitch Lucker live was not very good.
Huh.
Like,
I know I've seen Megadeth at the Orbit Room. I can't remember if it was that one or not. Can't remember if I was at that. I might have been at that show, though.
the Megadeth was sick. They were just on the Endgame run.
Yeah.
And that album for me, because I really was really hard into Megadeth. And, I mean, I still am.
Me
Rust
too.
in Peace is my second favorite album of all time.
Hell yeah.
No, without a doubt. But Endgame was the one where it was like, because back then I was really into thrash.
Yeah.
So I'd never really connected well with anything past, like I liked Part of Euthanasia.
Yeah.
And then after that, like Cryptic Writings,
Yeah.
not into it.
Yeah.
You know, Risk and World Needs a Hero.
Yeah.
They really picked it back up pretty good with United Abominations.
Oh, I even liked System Has Failed.
System Has Failed has some cool moments on it. Kick the Chair is a cool little song. Scorpion Deathlock, no, it's just Scorpion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Blackmail the Universe is a cool track.
Love that track.
Yeah, maybe I should probably revisit that record.
That one, I was super into Megadeth. I got really into them, and then then they announced they were coming out with a new album, and that was it. So that was like the first new album I got of them at the time.
Yeah.
Like at that point in time, and I fell in love with that. I loved the System Has Failed album.
Yep. Endgame was where I got into it, and that record front to back is amazing.
It's a good album.
It's their last good album to me. I didn't like 13.
Yeah.
I didn't like. I especially didn't like Super Collider.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And Dystopia is all right. It's I don't know. Like it's not bad, but Endgame was the last of it where I felt Megadeth was really great.
Fair enough.
That was like one of the first ones that I like really got into them on.
Yeah,
really liked that
Endgame
album.
was the shit.
Yeah.
So I saw them on that tour.
That's a
and
fucking them at the Orbit Room is insane.
yeah.
That I miss that venue. That I don't think it's open anymore.
I really do miss that venue. That's a cool place.
It was a good venue.
I've seen a lot of good shows there.
The Black and Moon?
But
I've
no.
seen some shows there.
Deep cuts.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What venue were you guys?
Orbit Room.
The Orbit Room, yeah.
Fastest circle pit I've ever seen in person was probably at the Orbit Room.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people will hate this too, but believe it or not, it was during Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh god.
But like the circle pit was so fast, there was literally like wind in the room coming off of it, like.
Because all those guys are fucking
insane.
butt chugging monsters all day long, so they're just bouncing off of things.
It was insane. It was but that place always had. Whenever Megadeth would play there, there's so many fucking people. You could almost, if you're in the front, you could almost like lift your feet off the ground and not fall. Like
that was the
so
hot
crazy.
spot for Lamb of God for a while too.
Yeah, I saw Lamb of God there a bunch of times. Yeah. I even saw fucking Typo Negative there, and 3 Inches of Blood when they were still a thing.
Damn.
They're one band that's one band that the screamer blew out his voice, and that's a big reason why they're no longer a thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice to see
so
Ash
damn
Pearson in Revocation now, though. So.
Oh shit!
Yeah, drummer.
I never even made that connection.
Yeah, last two.
Oh fuck yeah!
The last two records.
I always
Ash Pearson.
loved. I saw 3 Inches a few times. I always loved them.
Yeah.
They were
never
fucking
made that
great.
connection.
You
Yeah.
guys?
That was
Yeah, he proved to be what?
No, sorry, go on.
He proved to be a really good fill-in for Phil Dubois in Revocation because I don't really like attach to drummers like that.
Yeah.
Being a vocalist.
Yeah.
Phil has always been one of my favorite drummers.
Hell yeah.
He really knows how to put a spin on that style of metal. It's very unique. He's doing very little intricate stuff that I like. So when I found out he wasn't going to be in the band anymore, I was like, fuck.
Oh.
This
Which-
isn't
yeah.
good. But Ash Pearson really stepped up to the plate. I really like his drumming a lot.
Yeah.
Who was the? When was that change made? Which album?
Deathless was the
Deathless.
last album that Phil did.
That makes sense.
So Great Is Our Sin and the newest one, the Outer Ones, that's
'Cause,
Ash Pearson.
Yeah, because I really Deathless was the first album I got into him on,
Yeah.
and I kind of fell out of it a little bit on the one that was after that. But then dude,
The Outer Ones brought it back hard.
so sick.
I
Yeah.
love Great Is Our Sin still, but it is
It's
definitely
a little different.
the different one.
Yeah,
There's a few on there that rip. though,
yeah,
dude.
dude.
Yeah, like Communion
you.
is sick and Monolithic Ignorance is sick.
Yes, dude, that song is rips.
And actually that one,
So
because they do an instrumental for every single album.
Mm.
There's always one instrumental. That's my favorite one. Is that I'm blanking on the name of the song, but it's got Marty Friedman on it,
Oh wow.
and it's dope.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Anyway, yeah, Megadeth was my first show ever, and then I went my second show. I saw them again, and they were with Slayer and Anthrax on the American Carnage. It was the one-
Deltaplex.
Yeah,
I was there.
Slayer did
I
Seasons
was
in
at
full.
that fucking show, bro.
Yeah,
Holy
that's that
shit.
show. That's that shirt right
yeah,
behind you.
right there,
Yeah,
dude. We've been in a lot of the same shows.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I fucking love that so
yeah,
much.
that was probably a contender for one of my favorite shows because Slayer doing
it was
Seasons.
the big three. You know what I mean?
Megadeth
Or-
doing Rust in Peace
Yeah.
and Anthrax, opening the show, and that was the first tour that they did with Joey Belladonna coming back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was great.
yeah.
He's still great.
He's wonderful.
Still great.
I
can't
actually
wait for
think
their
out
next
of all
album.
the big four albums that have come out since, really out of all the big four albums that have come out in the 2000s, I think Anthrax definitely did it the best. Because Worship Music and For All Kings are both fantastic records. I absolutely love how For All Kings is just, it's a love letter to 80s metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
no,
really
For
has
All
those
Kings
soaring
is
melodies.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But, yeah, the other bands, like I said, Endgame was sick, but Megadeth never really came back for me after that. And Slayer, Christ Illusion is dope.
That's what I was gonna say. That came out in the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was looking up. Yeah.
And then, I was really
that
excited about
album.
World Plane of Blood when it came out. But nowadays, I like a little over half of it.
I like God Hates Us All.
Yeah.
I like that album a lot.
Yeah. That album's wonderful.
Yeah.
Even for having that stylistic change like that, because they did, the Diabolus and Musica,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, even still, that album's got some shining gems on it amongst
Yeah.
all the shit. But God Hates Us All definitely rips. I like that one.
So good.
Christ Illusion, but yeah, Anthrax definitely kept it key
Yeah.
with those
They did
two
a great
records,
job.
and I am excited about the next one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be real fucking heavy.
Other
what
than
they've been
that,
saying.
some of my favorite shows, I absolutely loved seeing Meshuggah live.
Black Dahlia, dude.
Black Dahlia, the Pyramid Scheme was
to
dope.
The
Oh.
lights.
That might have been the most
That was a
aerobic
little
show I've ever
ignorant-
seen.
ignorant. Little.
Yeah.
I was doing some.
My fingers are crossed hard. You
Front
guys get the
flips and
opening
stuff.
slot in Lansing.
Yeah.
Hard. I
Sick,
commented.
man.
We haven't seen shit
When is it?
about it.
I don't think anybody. I doubt anybody has. It's in September
Um,
29th.
It's
Yeah.
2 days after our show at This and Tomb.
Oh, okay. No. Okay.
Oh,
sick.
the
No, that's,
blood.
That's sick. That's perfect.
But even
Oh,
hey,
bloodletting,
blood-
yeah.
That's
dude.
perfect.
I wanna
I
Even-
actually
check
thought
out
it was
that.
later than that. That's
Even-
perfect though.
even
That's
if you don't
okay.
get it, you guys should go because we should all just be there. for
Oh,
that.
I'm gonna
Like
go
that's-
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll go if I don't play it.
Oh, come on.
Colorado.
So much fun.
I thought you already said you were going to be back for good.
I do not know. I might have more work. Undiscussed. I don't know. I
Well-
really don't know what's happening. It's really
What we're
Right.
up in the air. I'm just making. So I'm flying home
What was your first show that you went to go see?
First show, some lame Christian show, but first real show was probably Condition Critical.
Oh yeah, where at?
Local show, Planet Rock, maybe.
It's
Okay.
the Music Factory now,
Okay.
but yeah.
Might have been them.
CD release.
Yeah, I was just a little ground, man.
I think
Oh,
I have
yeah.
a picture somewhere of
Get
that.
into it. I don't think that was my first show. I don't think anybody got a picture of my first show.
No, of the. I definitely have a picture of you at that CD release. I know I do.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I don't think that was my first show though.
Oh,
was the CD
gotcha.
release. So I'm saying, but yeah, no, I know I was lame.
Oh,
Dude, I was the Red Rocket.
Yeah.
The Red Rocket. I wore all red. I don't know
He
why.
he kind of had like he looked
Weird-
like
weird
a
kid, didn't
looked
have a
like
lot
a
of friends,
Jewish
alright.
Jamie Kennedy from Malibu's Most Wanted.
That's funny.
But yeah, oh, the other one I gotta mention is Gojira.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Gojira is easily the most intense live show I've watched.
Oh hell yeah.
Like, they themselves are really into it, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I've never seen a crowd, like, just go off. You know, you watch, like, European crowds go off at festivals.
Yeah.
If it really felt like that when you're
That's
in there.
awesome.
Every single person was just, like, into the groove.
That's awesome.
Are you going to Knotfest?
No.
No.
Nope, I couldn't. We couldn't really get the time to work it because I've got to work and shit. So
What fest?
Knotfest. It's at
Slipknot and
DTM.
then Gojira and Behemoth.
Until the other day, I completely forgot that Gojira was on the bill.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause they're just like their last 3 albums, and even like before that. But those are, I guess, like Way of All Flesh was the first one that got me into them, and then I kind of went further than that. But like, yeah, dude, I'm so excited to see them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're super good. They're one of my favorites.
Well, do you have any final questions, Aaron?
Do I?
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of asked them all.
All right,
Kinda
all
went
right.
Through it all.
If we haven't covered it by this point.
I just wanted to say thank you guys again for
Of course.
coming out and
Thank you for having us
yeah.
on, yo. This is awesome.
sick to
Don't
had a
mind
great
though. If you want to come see Recorruptor soon.
Oh, the
We-
plugs. Get in
Well,
the
yeah.
plugs.
No,
whoa,
we're
whoa,
definitely
whoa.
doing. We don't worry.
The
We got the
plugs.
plugs.
Absolutely.
I got one more question before the plugs. One more, just because this is something that I love to talk. Like, this show is fucking mainly about heavy metal and all things metal, Lansing, Michigan metal, all that stuff. But also, one of the other things I love to talk about is things more in the realm of paranormal. So, and have either of you ever had any kind of paranormal experience, whether it be from UFOs to Bigfoot to ghosts to
No.
Dogman or anything at all?
No, I'm
Nothing?
I'm a
The
very
theories come in.
I'm as skeptical as they come.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't-
extremely skeptical,
Yeah.
but just from the X-Files is I want to believe more than anything.
Right.
If I can tell you one thing, everything's real. All right.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I'm an extremely skeptical individual, but I actively seek, because I just love it so much. It's something I've loved since I was a kid. Like, the only books that ever interested me in the library were the ones about Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster,
Right.
stuff like that. So, yeah, I like,
Yeah.
I like to ask people if they've ever, because if they have, people love talking about it.
Right.
When I was younger, we heard a little girl's voice in my basement.
Yeah?
But, that was a long time ago. Could have been anything. Could have been TV.
That's
we were
it?
young. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wasn't anything really to it. Went downstairs. Didn't really. I mean, I don't know. I think my sister is like, she went downstairs halfway and was just freaked out. She heard it and then fucking
Yeah.
flipped, ran outside.
Hmm.
That was about all that.
Well, that's something.
Yeah.
That's something.
Weird shit.
That is
I was
weird.
young though. I was probably like 5. Like,
Yeah.
Super young.
Fair enough.
Earliest memory shit.
What about you, Aaron?
Have I? Not. I mean, I've had, I don't know, nothing that really comes to mind, I guess. I haven't really had
No?
any, like, super crazy experiences or anything.
Okay. You need
I
to
can
come with
think
me on
of.
one of my ghost hunts.
I need to have something. I need to have something happen. Just
I
so
go.
I can validate it, I guess.
A buddy of mine is really into this stuff too, and him and I there are like, you see those fucking shows on TV and those locations they go to. A lot of those places you can pay for a ticket and they'll lock you in overnight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So like a buddy of mine and I have gone to done a couple of those, and I want Aaron to come with me on one. I think it'd be fun. We've seen. I mean, on those.
Aaron does not look ready for that.
We've seen some crazy shit.
Yeah. You've been trying to convince me for a long time. And I just
I'm just trying to get anybody. I got another one of my best friends, Jordan. He flat, like, if I even bring it up, he goes, "Fuck off!" Like, it's not happening. Like,
right.
Not going. But have you guys ever heard of the Michigan Dogman? Do you know what that is?
No.
You've never heard of that?
No.
You have? Oh, I see that head nod. Hell yeah.
The lore is real.
It's a Michigan, Wisconsin kind of
oh, actually, I think I've maybe heard about this.
Yeah,
now that you're saying
and it's basically a giant wolf that has hands instead of front paws and it can walk upright. Is basically, it's like a werewolf that doesn't transform into a human. It's just like that all the time.
Oh, it's just in that mid state.
Yeah. So like, and it's a piece of Michigan folklore that goes all the way back as far as when the French settlers first got here and met the Native Americans, in the Detroit area and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's a piece of folklore, but yeah, it's one of my personal favorites that I love. Like back in the day when me and my cousin would just go out at night driving around smoking weed and shit. We would call it, we were going dogman hunting, because we would go on the back, like the most darkest dirt roads that we could possibly find and try to get lost and stuff like that in the back country of the woods and stuff like that. But yeah, so I like to ask people if they've ever heard of that one. But yeah, so I guess plug time.
Yeah.
Plugs.
Plug. You guys got some shows coming up.
September coming in on some weekend that I don't know. I'm not looking at my phone.
I'll pull up your calendar.
For start, well, I know it all.
Okay.
For starters, I just want to say that I'm not coughing because I'm smoking anything. I'm just sick.
He is under the weather.
If I was coughing, I was taking major rips. I'm not sick.
Oh man, I'm making some sounds.
I'm gonna pull them up.
September 14th.
Yep.
We are playing in Battle Creek, Michigan.
The Music Factory.
Music Factory.
Great venue.
Oh my god.
Really nice venue. Is it fun to play? Enjoy playing it?
Yeah.
I like the Music Factory. I like playing there. They've got probably the best sound system in all of Michigan.
Nice.
Sick. Oh,
maybe not the Sanctuary.
That's a little high, but for what we play, yeah, that's the best.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's September 14th.
Yeah, September 27th. We're gonna be playing.
1 second.
September 14th is with. I want to promote this one because this is my show.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to make money off of this one. September 14th, we're doing a co-headliner. We are co-headlining with Forces from the Detroit 313. We are also playing with Throne, Vestigial, Dead Nerves, Cough and Talk, Discontent, and Guardrail. Holy shit, those hiccups are killing me right now.
That's the greatest plug ever.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it.
You sure you want to keep going?
Yeah, I do.
He's good.
I got
Just
this
be
guy.
way longer. Tickets
on.
are $10 in advance. You can get those from any of the bands, or you can get it from the website of the Music Factory. Find the event and
Find Clint for the tickets.
yeah, or find
Yeah,
Clint
too.
for the tickets. $15 at the door. Trying to sell this shit out, so spread the word. This is a pretty fat lineup anyway.
It's huge.
So
There's some great bands on there.
Right.
Throne's awesome.
yeah. September 27th, we're gonna be heading out to Detroit at the Sanctuary. Be doing the Bloodletting North America tour.
Yay! Dude, the Australian boys.
Yep. We're going to be playing with Disentomb. Disentomb is headlining with Visceral Disgorge, Signs of the Swarm, Continuum, Organectomy. God damn, dude. Organectomy. And Organectomy and Organectomy. And Mental Cruelty is also playing.
And Organectomy.
Tickets pre-sale are $18. I'm not sure what the the day of sale is.
That's a Friday night show too, people.
It's a Friday night show.
Last night I listened to the new Distant Tomb, which is sick as fuck.
Dude,
So heavy.
So you finally checked it out?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you,
It's
putrid.
There's some
It's
really cool.
disgustingly. I really want to start looking into the lyrics because the names of the songs, just going and reading them, beginning to ending, is so crueling and brutal.
It's a pretty like atmospheric too, like dark kind of album.
Very,
like,
very.
Because I heard a little bit of the Misery, is it? The one before that.
Yep.
I.e. the best album of all time. Not quite up there, but it's almost there.
What? Which one? Misery?
Fuck yeah, Misery. Misery's the shit.
Slam.
I listened to a little bit of that one, but I don't know. It didn't really like grab me quite as much as the new one did. And then Organectomy, their new one's sick as fuck too. I really like the one before that though.
Domain of the Wretched, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of real all the just the instrumental stuff on it, just the cool like I don't know. There's like a sick heaviness to it. It's just I don't know. That's cool.
So those bands will be sick. September 27th, Sanctuary. It's gonna be dope.
Get there.
The only one other than that is November 2nd.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not on your Facebook yet.
It is.
Is it?
It's
I was
there.
Just trying to find it.
It's there.
You're a liar,
God
Clint.
damn it.
It's
I
there.
was just on Facebook the other day.
Vestigial album release. They're
yeah.
dropping Crown of Serpents, and it's going to be amazing. They will be headlining with Recorruptor as direct support, and also features Throne and Dead Nerves. It's at the Pyramid Scheme.
Nice.
We will have tickets for $10 in advance.
$10
Fuck
is
yeah.
cheap to go see a whole bunch of cool death metal bands. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, shit, for that September 14th show, you're pretty much paying like $1 a band almost.
How's
A
that?
dollar a
8
band?
bands, yeah, for $10 pre-sale.
You're telling me $1 a
bands.
band for... Oh, my...
That's insane. Actually.
Essentially.
That's actually
These
insane.
bands are getting ripped off. What are you doing, Clint? What are you doing setting up these shows?
I'm paying them out of pocket.
No, we're giving you good shows. That's what we're doing.
Fuck yeah.
We're promoting hard.
So everybody should fucking go support the local
Yep.
scenes.
And all these new shows, we're gonna have even more new music to play. So yeah, come on out, check it out.
That is exciting.
Yes, very much so. I'm stoked.
How fucking yeah. All right, well, Jesus Christ, this is a long one.
Thank you.
We will wrap this up. Thank you guys for coming. Like, oh my God, this was absolutely incredible. Open door policy. Anytime you ever want to come back and talk about anything at all, please feel welcome.
10 minutes from now.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this was absolutely outstanding. And yeah, I guess we'll wrap this up. Everybody,
Sweet.
fucking be sure to follow Recorruptor on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Bandcamp. You guys got a Patreon?
No.
No
What
Patreon.
is that?
Fucking buy their music off iTunes. Get their music off their website.
Yep,
and
we're
Bandcamp
all
and
on. We're
everything.
on all streaming services, man.
Everywhere. Spotify and everything.
Spotify,
Oh,
Amazon
shit.
Music,
Amazon?
Pandora,
Everything you can find it.
Fuck.
Yes.
Apple Music.
Get it, people. Fucking get it.
Blood
Moon is
Because it's
there?
out there.
Is it on Pornhub though?
No.
It better
I'll
be.
make
Well,
a video.
We can fix that.
Forces
wasn't
did
the
that.
question.
No, I'll make a video.
That's true. Yeah, they did do that. I don't.
Fucking A. And also while you're doing that, follow fucking Bogwraith on everything.
The Boggy Boys.
The Swamp Beasts, the Lansing Swamp Beasts themselves. Follow them on everything. And, if you feel so inclined, follow us on all the same platforms except for Bandcamp. We're not on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
But just YouTube, iTunes, fucking Instagram, and Facebook. Those are big ones. And if you have any requests, if you want to, no,
Bring it
sadly
back.
not anymore. That'd be awesome. But if you have any questions, if you have any requests, if you have any paranormal experiences of your own, write to us at lostinthedarkpodcast@gmail.com. That'd be awesome to hear from you. And that's about it. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Seriously, you guys are
Love you.
amazing. We love you too. Love you so much.
Love y'all.
Hope you
We
come
made
back
some time.
soon. And for all of you out there, thank you so much for listening. Fucking raise your horns, bang your heads. I love you all to death. Good night.